it was actually a pretty big turning point in my life as far as my attitude. Because the first fight I won, second fight I went in just being like, I'm the best, bro. Like, what? Why am I even training hard? Like, no one's gonna be able to beat me. And I got like pieced up. Not pieced up, but like it was B class MMA. So when you were on the ground, you couldn't throw strikes to the head. And it was the first time ever going up against a jiu-jitsu guy, because God bless Shuriken MMA. Shuriken MMA, I love you to pieces. But back in the day, the jiu-jitsu program was...
All right. Matthew Mcmeeking.
Hello.
Good to have you on. All right. We're going to start off straight away. For the viewers of this podcast, Matthew is I would say arguably pound for pound top sub-only grappler in New Zealand.
I'm a pacifist.
Sure. He doesn't like choking people. That's
yeah, that'd be a weird pastime.
Yeah. That's definitely not what he does for a living.
No.
Also used to be did you go, were you you were pro, right?
I was never pro. No.
Really?
I was just an amateur. Yeah.
Amateur MMA fighter. Gave that up to be a full-time...
aggressive cuddler.
There we go. So
moving up in the world.
Hey, man. Who am I to judge, right? I shuffle cards for a living, so give those a mix.
Yeah, hold up.
Yeah, that's fine.
I should have practiced at home.
That's okay.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. What a disaster.
Wow, so bad.
Am I allowed to swear? I left the card on the table,
yes,
too.
you're fine.
I'll try this one as well. I saw this on TV one time.
Oh. The TV one. Hey, there it is.
Hey.
Nice. All right, cool. So, a pack of cards, if it's shuffled, right? It's like, I don't know. I actually don't know the math because that's why I became a magician.
Yeah.
I don't have to learn the math. But if it's shuffled, it's got like so many different like ways it could be mixed, right?
Yeah.
And like all the different combinations.
Yeah. I read statistically that every time you shuffle it, it's a new combination that potentially has never been done before.
In theory, yeah. Like it's highly likely. I don't know the exact likelihood, but that it's basically every time it's a different combination.
Dang. Okay.
So, keeping that in mind, I'm going to do one of because like Magic's been around for a long time, right? They say that Magic has been around, they say Magic is the second oldest profession. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you which one the oldest one.
It's a different kind of Magic.
Yeah. You got to figure that one out for yourself, you know? But it's kind of like picked up a lot of cliches over the time, right? So one of those things is like, finding the aces. It's like a classic thing magicians always do, right? For some reason, they're obsessed with finding aces. Yeah. And I mean, it has like cheating connotations, but so I'm just going to follow in the footsteps of old men from the 1800s that also did the same bullshit for the last 100 years.
Yeah, recycling. Classic.
Yeah, exactly. So here we go. I'm going to try this. Think... That should be an ace. Let's see.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow, the ace of hearts, ladies and gentlemen. Dang. The ace of hearts. All right, let's try a little bit, like, okay, so again, statistically speaking, first time I do this, there's 4 in 54 chance that I cut to an ace. But every time I do it, there's less aces in the pack, so it gets harder and harder, right? Yeah. But I'm going to try to up the stakes as well.
Oh my God.
That's an ace.
Yeah, it is an ace.
All right, for the last one, I'm actually going to do it with a hand behind my back. I'm going to find the last ace with a hand behind my back. Watch close. I think 23 cards exactly. That's an ace. I said for the last one, I'll find it with a hand behind my back. That's only 3. Because the fourth one's over here.
Oh my God. That's wild.
And that's
actually crazy.
The 4 aces. The cliche of a lifetime.
Hey, I'm very impressed.
There we go.
How old were you when you got into Magic?
12.
12. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you've been at it for a while.
So I was a Roblox kid.
Yeah.
Roblox
You struck me as a Roblox kind of kid. Yeah.
And then I'll show you one more thing with these. This is actually the set I did for that show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the other cliche, but this one doesn't come from the magician side, it comes from the audience side, is we use the sleeves, right?
Yeah.
I mean, of course we use the sleeves.
Gotta use the sleeves. Come on.
No, we use the sleeves. Of course we use the sleeves. I mean, I'll show you how we use the sleeves, right? So we got the 4 aces. That's all we will use for now. And so ace of hearts, we will put that more or less over here. And we got the diamond, spade, and club. Okay, so this is what happens, right? The sleeve gets used like this. All the way across to the other side, right? One ace from one side to another. So you can see we got the 2 black aces here. And we have the red and the red. Okay, I'll do it again because it's a bit fast. So I'll tell you what magicians say they do, right? They go like this and they pretend to take the card. And they pretend to take the card. But what they're really doing is like palming like this, right? Now, palming is hard because you can see the corner of the card. And you can also see the exact, like, if I go like this, you can see the claw hand grip sort of thing. It's like not natural, right? Yeah. But if I do it just right, you can see it starts to look like it goes invisible, right? It actually doesn't go obviously invisible. It goes all the way up the sleeve through the channels of pulleys and all this other levers to land on a table right here. So on this side, we got the ace. And over here, we got the ace, and the ace. Now, are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Right-handed.
Yeah.
All right, take your right hand, put it on top of that, and I'll do it the slowest possible way I can, okay? So the ace goes up the sleeve. I'm showing you exactly what I'm doing, right? It goes up the sleeve till it gets connected to the lever and the pulley and the line and the... back. No, we're going back. Oh, no, we're going back. There. Open your hand. And you'll see there's 4 cards now.
Oh my God, dude.
And that should be all 4 aces.
You can't convince me this isn't real magic. I know it's sleight of hand, but that is actually wild. Oh my gosh.
There we go. So that's actually the two routines that I did at that show. They're brand new. And that's what I was stressing about. When I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a way to start a podcast.
There we go.
It's all downhill from here, Eduard. I can't deliver anything that cool. Thank God we got the memes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we got that out the way, because otherwise my producer's on my back saying I don't do magic in the show. What we're going to do today is we have a kind of a tier list of different memes. Now, I know you as a meme connoisseur.
Yeah.
And some of these memes I might have even sent you when I found them.
You're pretty meme happy with the...
Yeah. But we're going to try to tier them and see which one's your favorites.
Okay, what's the alpha meme?
Exactly. What's the top dog memes, all right? Now, unfortunately, we did come up with a meme that we cannot show. Because I don't want Kanye pulling our video.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what he does with copyrights. Like he might just take the ads, which I'd be fine with.
Seems like a Kanye thing. You should slip the link in somewhere because it's a good meme.
I'll put it in the description. But yeah, so that one's not going to be on it. It's an obvious S tier straight away.
Yeah,
straight away.
I would make another tier level for that as well.
It would be above that. Yeah, for sure. So some of these are like not meme format, but it's fucking hilarious.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's see. All right, what you think. So the very first one, if I can find my files that I've saved. All right, we'll start with a classic. All right, we'll start with a classic. I wonder if you've seen this one. Okay. All right, have you seen this video? This is a classic.
Is it the Mendes brothers?
So, but that's about it. That's all I know.
You watch this, man?
What?
He's beating the shit out of everyone. We're going to lose bloody students, mate.
What, the guy on the ground?
No, he's beating the hell out of everyone. Someone's got to do something. I'm sick of this shit.
I'll go rolling. Shall I roll? Show me who the black belt is.
The Brazilian as well, Portuguese.
Why are you hitting on my students? You want to roll with the black belt? Let's roll, man. Let's do it. I can roll with you. I can roll right now. I can roll next week, man. My arm's really sore, so welcome down the class. All right?
Kid Dale was a fucking legend.
Yeah,
and
that's iconic.
Yeah.
That's a good meme, dude. That's a good meme because it shows a major problem with martial arts generally, which I feel like people don't want to admit. Like they're raised on this idea that technique will surpass everything.
Yeah.
But size and strength do make up a lot of that leeway,
Especially because it's like this whole narrative in jiu-jitsu, right? Where it's like, oh, striking is very much a who's bigger and who's stronger. But jiu-jitsu, that's the way the way to beat a. It's like, if you have a professional boxer that's fucking small against a massive guy that doesn't know how to strike, he'll probably knock. I don't know if he'll knock him out, but he'll probably piece him up.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's but just skill.
Yeah, when all things are equal, size is the determining factor. Did you ever watch George St. Pierre, BJ Penn? Those two fights?
I've come across them. I don't know if I can tell you exactly what happened in those fights.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So basically George St. Pierre won. And I think that was kind of the first fight that I watched because at the time going in, I thought BJ Penn was like the G, just as far as like flexibility. Like I'd watched what he'd do to other people, things that people had never done. And then he came up against a guy who was probably, I wouldn't say George St. Pierre was like more skilled than him at the time, but he was just George St. Pierre, And like he had enough skills to kind of like keep it level and then just enough athleticism to just sort of beat him up a little bit,
Yeah. So and then you see what he did to Bisping.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, holy shit, that's
man,
like the
bro.
opposite.
Yeah.
It's like flipped, you know what I mean? He became so skilled at the end of his career.
Yeah. Fuck, he was big at middleweight though, to be fair. Not Bisping big though, not Bisping big.
That's the thing. I'm pretty sure he couldn't even make the weight. Like he was still under the weight on weigh-in, right?
I was, yeah, you're right.
So he like, he looked big, but
yeah, and he finished him, didn't he?
Yeah, rear naked choke.
Yeah, left hook and then rear naked choke. Yeah.
Is that the division that Izzy fights at?
Yeah, that's
so that's dude. Fucked up,
that
right?
Is fucked up.
Because look, GSP was champion in that division, and then now it's fucking Pereira, and that guy like walks around 100 kg.
Bro, he's a monster. His head's like the size of my chest. It's wild.
His head is like the biggest. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is how the guy cuts. How the fuck?
I don't even know, bro. Yeah. I could understand it back in the day when they allowed like the IV drips and all those kind of like shady things to rehydrate you. But just like water cutting, like I think when I used to fight, I'd cut like 2 kilos, maybe 3, and it was like hell.
Of water.
Yeah, and I hated it.
Wow.
It was terrible, dude. Just like the SpongeBob movie when he's getting desiccated by the light. And
I haven't seen it, but
dude,
I can imagine.
Yeah, the first SpongeBob movie is a classic. Yeah.
I never grew up with SpongeBob because I grew up with like the Romanian cartoons. And then I came over here. We didn't like. Yeah, my mom was like, no TV. Read books.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Educate yourself. Yeah. Send me some Romanian cartoons and I'll.
Oh yeah. You know that some of them are like they crossed over. You know that fucking Samurai Jack?
Samurai Jack. Yeah,
that was big. Dexter. Do you remember?
Yeah, Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah.
That
like so those sort of like I don't know what channels were on here.
The Cartoon Network.
Yeah. Stuff, that shit was on a lot. Used to watch a lot of Tom and Jerry.
Okay, so kind of transferred over. Yeah.
All right.
That's I'd put that in the A tier.
A tier.
Just because I don't want to put it in S tier just because I don't know what the other memes are.
Yeah. You got to keep it. Yeah. So Kid Dale, it's a classic, but it's also just like
it's good. It's a simple, effective. It's a classic meme.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
All right. Now this one, I was surprised because all right. Well, I'll show you. Then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So this is you know who this guy is? The
goat.
The goat, Uncle Hanach.
Any advice you give to any boys out there, any guys who want to get the woman's, like what advice would you give?
I think it was Winston Churchill who said a long time ago, walk softly and carry a big dick.
S tier. Anything that comes out of that man's mouth.
You know what's funny though? I was looking up, I was trying to find memes with Renato Laranja because I'm like, you can't have a meme tier list of BJJ memes without
the meme lord.
Yeah. And oh,
there's a camera there. Oh my god.
I could not find like sound bites. Like everything he does is so long form. Like it's all like 10-minute videos and it's all like these big long skits. And I'm like, okay, like it's just interesting.
He's so invested in the character.
Yeah. He does like seminars.
Oh, what a G, dude.
One guy asked him in one of the videos, he was like, so Eddie Bravo beat Hoyler and you choked out Eddie Bravo. So would you say that you're better than Hoyler? One of the best competitors of all time, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I'm not going to say no, But yes.
yeah.
It's so funny.
Confidence. If you don't believe in yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Renato, where would you put him on the?
I'm gonna put that in C. You know,
C.
it's not top tier, but
Yeah.
it's not a shit meme. you
Yeah,
know?
it's not shit, but it's also a bit like old now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
It's
yeah,
been
yeah.
played out.
Yeah, it has.
You
It
know?
has. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a 0.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
He was the GOAT at one point.
Yeah,
It's
for
like
sure.
the UFC champions, you know, when you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Chuck
yeah.
Liddell and shit. You're like,
Yeah.
well,
He's the GSP of
Yeah.
BJJ memes. Dude. Yeah.
although GSP is still pretty decent.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
I'd rate him like in today's, like if he wasn't getting older with
yeah,
his
yeah,
skill
yeah.
set he left with.
Yeah, true.
Like,
True.
I'd
If,
rate
if you're comparing them in their primes, yeah, is he your number one? You reckon? Like if you had to, just to get away from the
I
memes
mean,
for a second.
I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not the biggest MMA guy that knows every fucking fight.
for sure.
From what I've seen though, Mighty Mouse, man.
I was gonna shame you if you said
Fucking
anything
hell.
else.
Dude,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that
Nice.
guy, dude. Obviously Jones is not in the conversation because of steroids.
Yeah. So yeah, keep going.
If that wasn't a thing, then Jones is.
He's up there. Yeah.
I mean, fuck, man. That
I know,
guy's
bro.
scary.
I thought Gustafsson beat him, and I thought Dominic
okay.
Reyes maybe beat him. You know, whereas
Yeah.
I feel like Demetrius Johnson, aside from getting starched by Moraes
Yeah.
and Cejudo, which I thought he won, but
Yeah.
yeah. That's
That
it.
last fucking knockout where he like just
Yeah,
paces,
bro. Yeah.
knee.
The
like,
rhythm, bro. The
fucking
rhythm.
hell.
Yeah,
That's so much patience.
that is next level,
Dude. Oh, anyways. So yeah, Mighty Mouse, I think.
Yeah.
And just for the pure highlights, Fedor.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Fedor
still
was good,
will
bro.
watch a Fedor highlight and just like
yeah.
cream, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's good, bro. He's
Yeah.
good. Especially for the era, you know. Yeah, against those pride monsters.
Because he was like one of the guys that you'd see like actually put together like MMA.
yeah,
Like he would go strike to clinch to throw to submission.
He was one of those OG combat sambo guys.
Yeah,
right?
but like, you know, back in the day, you'll be like, a wrestler, he'll just take you down and just ground and pound.
Yeah.
Or a striker, will just, you know, keep it on. But like, he just combined everything. Like,
yeah, it was still very stylistic back in the day, right?
like he's got knockouts, he's got subs, he's got everything like on his resume.
yeah, he's got
It's
the
crazy.
dad bod, which I like.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. He's got the fucking board stare.
Yeah,
Which-
dude. It's the Iceman.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's wild.
That's what happens when you know,
Wrestle
best mate with Putin and shit.
Yeah. What a guy. I'd love to meet him, bro. That would be an interesting podcast. Fedor,
Yeah.
just hear about his life, the things he's done, the people he's met.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. His brother's been to prison, right? He was like
Yeah,
legit.
his brother's wild, dude.
Yeah.
Got hep C apparently.
Far out.
Yeah. And he's just
What you doing, man?
Yeah, he's getting sanctioned to fight in these Russian organizations.
Oh, hell no.
Hell yeah, Russia.
I'm not signing that contract. You know what I'm saying? Well, I wouldn't either way because he would fuck me up. But
Hey, if Putin says sign the contract, dude, you sign the contract.
I'd rather go to the gulag than fight
yeah.
Alex fucking.
Vladimir, if you're listening to this, I'm joking. Relax.
No, we're not joking, G. we get the fuck out, Ukraine, my guy.
Yeah.
All right. So next one. This one is a classic, but I think it's a everlasting classic.
An eternal classic.
You're going to see 1,000 self-defense videos where people do things like this. Oh, he grabs your clothing, take his wrist, and apply a wrist load. Give me a fucking break. You get your nose broken, teeth knocked out, badly fucked up, cuts, all that kind of thing. Sure, 5-6 teeth knocked out at a time, broken jaws, people getting fucked up. People are getting fucked up. Look like you've been some fucking meat now. You can kick the shit out of them. Don't bother throwing a punch until your feet are covered in blood. I've seen people literally spitting out
God,
5-6 teeth at a time. The shit's hit the fan and there's blood leaking out of his fucking ears. Put the motherfucker on the ground and start stomping. What the fuck am I doing? And you're looking at them after the fight going, damn, it literally looks like he's been in a fucking car accident. It doesn't look like a fight, it looks like a car accident.
Yeah. I knew you'd say that. I would agree with that.
We're talking about controlling people, holding them down. We're talking about putting them in a fucking hospital.
Do you think there's a disconnect between what a lot of people think of as far as like the sport of jiu-jitsu and like the combative application? Like, do you think a lot of, like, obviously if you're a good jiu-jitsu guy from a sporting context, you'll do pretty well in a fight. But do you think, like, because I know especially now there's been a big emphasis on wrestling and things that'll actually make jiu-jitsu more combatively relevant. But for a long time, dude, like there were no takedowns. Or there were takedowns, you know? but it wasn't like
no one was good at them.
Nah, and it wasn't like heavily prioritized.
And also, you wouldn't train them in the same way you'd train the ground stuff. You'd be like, oh, here's a technique.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you in 3 months.
Yeah, hard,
you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is that?
Singles and doubles, baby. Singles and doubles.
Yeah, but like you'll do it once every 3 months, and then it'll just be it'll just be the mechanics of the single leg.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be like setups. It wouldn't be
you
like
don't spend any time there.
Zero time. Yeah, I remember pulling fucking De La Hiva guard in my blue belt match because I'm like I don't want to pull guard, but I literally don't know how to take someone down.
Yeah. Your lack of ability outweighs your shame.
Yeah.
I feel that. I was there for a while. Yeah. Not that I have anything against pulling guard, as long as you're doing it like aggressively. But I feel like yeah. You know.
So to answer your question, and I don't think I'm qualified to say it, but I feel like having like the fact that we train in an MMA gym, I think it gives us a perspective that
we're not
other jiu-jitsu gyms don't get.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you go to a pure jiu-jitsu gym, like an average pure jiu-jitsu gym, maybe not like a super competitive one, but like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like you'd be like, fuck, these guys would get fucked up.
Yeah. Because they're kind of existing like an echo chamber, right?
Yeah, like no one's wrestling up. No one's like...
Yeah. That's actually a really good point. I didn't even really think about that. Yeah, we are quite lucky.
That was kind of like my reasoning why I didn't want to leave the gym when things happened.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, I have
things
all these...
happen, talk about it.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. No.
But, you know, like when, when
there
there was like a split and stuff. But because I was like, man, like I have all these training partners that are like, they don't roll like a jiu-jitsu guy. Like Andre will just fucking like just scramble on shit and just constantly be on top and stuff.
They're going to give you actual looks, right?
Right. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know that I'll be able to, you know, like, and my whole thing, like, I mean, we can talk about, I'm pretty sure I've told you before, but like my whole thing is like, I had this whole kind of ingrained insecurity of being bullied, you know, so as a kid. So I'm like, well, I don't really give a fuck about the sport. Like I honestly still don't.
It's a martial art first, right?
Yeah. Like I know it's stupid and be like, oh, well, once you get to a certain level, like it doesn't matter. But even now, like I will never not hook the leg on a triangle. I know no one's in the gym's going to slam me, but like if I get out of that habit and I do it in the street,
it's going to happen. Yeah.
And then I get fucking spiked.
Rampage bombed on concrete, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like, and it just annoys me that like, I feel like every time I teach a triangle, I'm like, hook the fucking leg. Like it will save you like at the least a concussion.
Yeah.
At the worst death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so like it doesn't cost you to just hook the leg. Like that just drives me nuts.
Yeah. One thing I find with the MMA guys as well, it's not even like a technical disparity, but just like the energy they bring. You know, like MMA guy, like jiu-jitsu guys will kind of engage and they'll be like, okay, we're going to kind of start playing the game. They'll let you get grips and then they'll start to work out, which is good. But an MMA guy is just like, I'm going to put you on your back. Yeah. I'm going to keep you there.
I found the same thing with judo guys because they only have 20 seconds to work. So they're like
frantic, eh?
Yeah. And like if you're able to like switch that on, like you don't have to do that all the time, but if you can switch it on, I feel like then you know like you can do some shit.
Yeah.
Like
for sure.
if you can't like do that aggressive scramble for 20 seconds before anything happens.
Yeah.
I feel like you would get fucked up.
And if you do think about grappling in I feel like such a douchebag saying like in the streets, you know?
Yeah,
but like you don't have 5 minutes at a time to cook a guy and set up subs.
Yeah.
Right? Like you got 10 seconds, then someone's going to come and kick you in the head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta go.
Jiu-jitsu in the street is literally like hike and underhook and get up.
Yeah. 100%.
Like fuck.
100%. And then
playing, let me set up a triangle and shit. Like
best self-defense martial art is a 400 meter sprint.
Yeah.
That's what someone told me once. I was like, that's very true.
Yeah. Too bad I suck ass at sprints.
Yeah,
so I just have to.
Yeah. But you can pull guard. You can pull guard like no one's business.
I think Ryan Hall said like I hate running because it breeds cowardice.
Yeah. That's why you do jiu-jitsu, so you don't have to run.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, I guess I'm forced to just fucking stand and bang.
Stand
and
know? Bang, bro. Let me bang, dude. Sprawl and brawl, baby. Let's go.
Oh man, hilarious. Too bad I suck at striking. All right.
What do we put? We put that in an S tier meme.
Yeah, that's got it.
That's top tier.
There's no chance it's not an S tier. All right. This
shout
one.
Out. Oh, sorry. Keep
yeah, go.
I say shout out John Danaher.
Yeah, fuck
Get on the podcast, you loser.
Bro, I would pay so much money for John to be on this podcast.
Bro, it'd be amazing. So
there's no chance though. No chance.
Loquacious.
Yeah.
Hey, I believe.
I mean, maybe. But I'd have to fucking fly to wherever.
Yeah, you have to go to
wherever
Austin.
the base of BJJ Fanatics is.
Yeah, that's true.
And find him in some
New
basement.
York. Yeah.
Concocting up money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those fucking instructionals, bro, they cost so much money.
Oh, he must be a rich man.
Yeah, sure. All right. Next one. It's It's not the best version of this meme that I've ever seen, but I couldn't find the original.
That's fine. Yeah, it's like a second level iteration.
Yeah. Well, it's there's a better edit, but it's fine.
Estia, dude. Because I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
Like, I was at a few of our kids competed at the last NZ Grappler, and there's like a lot of those, a lot of those helicopter takedowns. Yeah,
they just lock arms and just spin.
Just spin, bro. The centripetal force, you can't beat it. What are you gonna do? Fight physics?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Leverage of the
Earth. Yeah, that's an ST meme, I'd say.
Yeah, my favorite edit of that is where they'll edit them to keep spinning and they spin off into
around the world. Yeah, I've seen that too.
So good.
That's pretty good.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, top tier.
All right. So that what?
I'm gonna put that like a high A tier, just because S tier we gotta keep it special. I think. You know, I can't reward that level of takedown ability. We were just talking about good takedowns.
It's like, what do you think about jiu-jitsu in self-defense? They just show the worst fucking.
I love it.
All right. This one I know you've seen because I was the one that showed you, but I couldn't not include it. So let's go. This is gonna be this is definitely getting put up on TikTok and shit.
Oh, yeah, you see this. I forgot about all these. Holy shit. Classic. Fuck Cyborg, dude.
Bro, he's all about respect and then cries so much when he loses. It's fucked up. Yeah, this is accurate as fuck.
Oh hell yeah! It's a syllabus, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. Nice. That's on.
Just in time for the new facility too. It's pretty sick. I've seen it.
Oh, is it? Is it nice?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Oh my god, that speaks to my soul, dude.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like that. That's good.
Gracie Barra has like such a bad rep.
Strange, eh? Apparently some of the gyms are actually really good.
Oh yeah.
But I guess when you have that many, right? That's bound to be. That's a good name.
Yeah. Also very accurate.
God, I wish.
The service is so bad.
I know. I wish there was just another like competitor, you know?
Yeah.
But no one has the quality. Yeah.
We don't get this as much in New Zealand, but I'm sure that's a thing.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I'm S tier just for the effort they went into it.
Yeah.
You know.
And when I first saw that was S tier.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Like, now it's only a bit diminished because I know what's coming.
Yeah.
I was dying in my seat.
That was good. I forgot about the Gordon Ryan killing a homeless person. That got me pretty bad. Was that? Is it Super Hot Fire? Is it
Yeah. That's what I reference when we're rolling, and I'm like, bada bing bow pow. Yeah. I'm about to end this man's whole career.
Yeah.
What career? Yeah, it's fucking great.
That's good. Yeah, S tier.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 2 in S tier. We got 1 in C tier.
Yeah,
I think there's one that's high A tier.
A, yeah, maybe nice. 2 A's. I think.
Give me some D tier memes.
Some D tier. I don't know if I even.
You know the problem with D tier memes is
what?
When they're that bad, they're good. Because that's the point of memes, you know, like the humor is so meta. They're like when you go far enough in one direction, you're bound to loop back.
It's like the deep fried memes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it's purposely just shit.
Yeah.
And then
oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I have anything that's complete trash.
Of course.
Here's another John Danaher one.
You're a meme connoisseur.
Exactly. Here's another one that
we've got a talented opponent now. This is not his first day at the Rodeo. Okay, you went from everything okay to oh shit, this is gone terrible. Okay, it's not really a danger when we've got a jacket on. There's a lot of friction, but if we both take our jackets off,
this is John Danaher out of context. Is the
You're easily the least jacked out of all my guys for this video series.
Leave Placido alone,
just
dude.
Feeble.
Just a deadpan.
Yeah.
So now, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, Danaher is such an asshole. He brings in these arcane Japanese terms to make things sound more complicated than they really are. And why doesn't he speak plain English?" Well, it's true, I am an asshole, but not for the reasons people think. So if we have a seated situation, down on your knees. Did you see what I did with my arms when I felt I was falling?
He slaps his hand.
There's an old saying in Belgium,
yeah.
the only times you lock eyes with someone is when you want to fuck them or fight them. Okay? When you
Is that why you're making so much eye
eye
contact with the table?
Yeah.
Your girlfriend's right there, dude. Relax.
We're not here
Make
to fuck.
eye contact with the camera.
Yeah.
Don't fuck around. Okay, it's time to go. You see what happened. You got knocked down. Big fucking deal. Okay, no one cares. Of a banana.
So I was watching that video.
Yeah.
And like I was like kind of like, oh, this is not that great. And then that last bit got me so bad.
The banana?
That banana. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
What's going on? So this one might be a bit lower. What do you reckon?
You know my problem with that is it's not quite memes.
Exactly.
It's just funny, you know.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
want to. If it wasn't in a BJJ meme tier list, it'd be an S tier. If it was just BJJ content, I'm gonna give it a B, just because.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair.
You know what it is? There's meme potential. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
there's
it a B tier though?
memeability.
What do you reckon? It could go A tier, low A tier.
I was gonna put it lower because, to be honest, it's a big build up for that little banana clip at the end. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like it's like okay, what's where's the funny?
That's
where's the
true.
funny? And then it's like, oh,
There's
okay, you know.
the payoff.
Yeah, the payoff
okay.
at the end.
Yeah. See,
So yeah,
I'm gonna give it B tier.
yeah, B is good. I
Yeah,
reckon.
B is good.
Yeah. All right, now this one is a classic. We'll keep my favorite for last. So this is a classic. I have to skip ahead. Here we go. It's not really a meme, but it's a classic meme, I guess, in a way.
When he tries to fall back behind, I'll tie a rope on his waist and drag him with us.
This who does the front flip?
Yeah.
God, old MMA was wild. Oh hell yeah.
Essa tua cambalhota aí, tu pega em cima aqui você não vale de nada. Que cambalhota de merda é essa, rapaz? A última, vambora, Daniel. Quero ver quem é que vai acertar essa. Vambora, Daniel.
Angry Portuguese is like the classic jiu-jitsu, like training background sound.
Yeah. This is the energy you need in the room.
Eu tô indo de encontro a ela.
So you gotta learn to do jiu-jitsu or something. Yeah. The eyes.
Esparramar não, entrar, botar pra baixo. Se eu for falar o que tu tá fazendo errado, eu vou parar aqui até amanhã. Quer botar o cara na guarda, tu roda pra frente na cambalhota. Para no praia de fazer isso, ó. Vai falar isso, ó. Joelhada na cabeça, acaba de ser mentido. Tá igual o Eduard lá no hospital, ó.
I love Brazilians, dude.
Yeah.
So funny. So funny.
So animated, so
Oh,
fucking...
bro, they're just so alive, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they just have a fucking zest for life that you
Yeah.
can't compare. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's I mean, like, I could not have a tier list and not put Renzo Gracie on there at some point in some way.
Yeah.
I was also debating the one where he beats up, like, the two muggers that tried to... Do you know the one?
Nah, what?
Oh, they're like, he was basically... But it's, like, long and not a meme. So I was like,
But is it a video of him beating them up?
No, so he's, like, talking about... He was, like, tweeting. Like, he was walking through New York City and he was tweeting, like, oh, I'm being followed by these two guys. Like ha ha ha, this is going to be funny or some shit like that.
Wow.
And then like apparently they like try to, you know, like he goes off into like an alleyway or some shit specifically to like draw them in or something.
Yeah.
And they come close and he just fucks them up.
Jesus.
And then one guy takes like runs.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he like he like goes across and finds him and beats him up again. Some shit like
Wow,
that. He tells the whole story.
That's
It's
a pretty
hilarious.
Henzo thing.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
believe that. Dang.
It's funny, but it's
Yeah.
just like a long interview. So
I'm going to put that in low A tier just because I feel like I've had that conversation. You know?
were you as Henzo? Or you as,
No. Me as the guy that needs to learn some jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And an angry Brazilian yelling at me.
Yeah, that's
Take
relatable.
The good old days.
Yeah, except back in those days, like the Brazilian didn't.
Yeah, it's even better because like, yeah.
They didn't give a shit. I'm like,
No.
You're shit, and I like just stay shit.
They're gonna tell you, yeah, which I appreciate. I do appreciate.
Yeah.
a little bit more constructive feedback would have been nice, but you know, it's good to be aware of where you're at.
Yeah, I don't disagree. either.
Yeah. I'm mad, but you're right. Yeah.
All right. This one is a long payoff, but it's also one of my favorite clips in all of jiu-jitsu. I don't think you've seen this. Well, maybe you have, but all right, here we go. They're talking about butt drags.
And
Yeah.
what he's
Oh,
gonna do
Seen
is
this?
now
Oh,
he's
you
gonna
have seen this.
Short set.
I've lived
bring the
this.
hips in so you can get the head back up. So a butt drag is like useful. It's very, very useful. Now, the problem with butt drags,
Your long ass
a lot of
arms,
people get
eh?
weird about it, is because they're reaching between somebody's legs.
Star City.
Just get over it, okay? Just get over it. It's gonna be something. You see it in a high school wrestling, gym. You see high school wrestlers butt dragging, college wrestlers butt dragging. They do it and they do it professionally. They don't get all crazy. You can do it in an adult grappling class without having people getting silly. All right. So, in all honesty, when you go butt drag, you're gonna grab some sack. Okay, it's just gonna happen.
Hell yeah.
You don't want to, but you'll be shaking hands with the Pope more than you want. Okay, so when you go around there, usually I try to stay off on the leg a little bit in the upper thigh.
That's fucking
but
fun.
you never know which way it's hanging, and you're gonna grab. And there's a fighter, I don't want to say his name, but the poor guy's cursed. Every time I go like a high crotch double or anything that's my hands inside his thigh, I'm grabbing the governor. And the problem with that is like the guy's fucking cursed. I told him he's got to Cinnabon it and put it in the jock. It's the only way to do it. But he never does it. And he's like, got me, coach, got me. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Everywhere,
The partner's just like trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
It has to be like that sometimes. So, and if a guy makes a big deal about you like going butt drag and you end up catching some sack, look, man, I don't know what kind of man can't take a sack pull. Let's be honest. It's just gonna happen, okay? It's just gonna happen. So get over it.
I caught
Where
a
you gotta
high
be
crotch to the
particular
nuts on
is
Saturday. I'll tell you about it. It was
If
bad.
you're a guy rolling with a girl, doesn't mean you can't butt drag, but you gotta make sure because you don't want to end up sticking your fingers in tortilla soup, right? You just
God, I never heard that before in my life.
This guy has more like
little quips.
more metaphors than I've ever heard.
If you have a female athlete and you're preparing her for a female competition, butt drags are useful. If you watch wrestling on the world stage, girls they're digging in, right? And instead of going butt drag, they're going front butt drag. They go right past and go to the front butt, and because they're able to lift the girl's crotch up, and that's more weight on the hands. And I've even seen girls you can find pictures of in the Instagram that they're.
Is this a video of your laptop?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't take
golden,
this.
man. They're basically like you're picking up a 6-pack of beer cans. They're just in there. And I mean, if you really need to win, you got to use all you can. So, tell her to do what they got to do. But just definitely when you're going with a girl there, you definitely don't want to be in that situation where you're like I said, you're fishing in some soup. Okay, you don't want to stay away from it. Okay, so just be careful. Now, when we're here, what I like to do to set
Dude's
this
like, oh,
up is either I'm caging him away to a cross-face cradle. Most of the time what I do is I come here and I'm spiking his ear to his shoulder. So this I'm going to go near side cradle. This is me personally. So I might be here right in the back. I go here and I'm just going to spike his head to his shoulder. Now from this position, I'm going to go and I'm grabbing some sack as we speak. Okay, I try to stay off on the leg a little more, but I mean, he's going to get his Christmas goose early. So like some guys, I know they just make a fist because they don't want to grab some Johnson, and they just forearm smash them in the sackaroo, split the boys. I mean, see, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Otherwise, just grab onto the side of the leg if you're trying to protect him. Now, if he has a cup, then you can just grab that fucking cup, to be honest with you. And, that's going to give you a little bit of a grip.
Wait, is that legal?
But butt dragging, it is what it is.
If the ref doesn't see it,
you got to go. Okay? You don't want to get pink eye, but you got to get in there. Okay? Spike his
Don't tell me what I want, Neil Manson.
You're assuming a lot here.
Yeah.
Down over his shoulder.
You're assuming a lot for a man
you're in your
grabbing
cradle.
handfuls of sack.
Yeah, meeting the Pope, grabbing the Johnson, splitting the boys,
hard,
digging in some soup.
I didn't even know
going bowling. Like fuck it out.
For tortilla soup, that ranks pretty high. Just because I've never even thought of that in my entire life.
That's so funny.
Dang, that's a hard one to rank. That's the hardest one to rank.
Yeah. It's a long deadpan fucking video, but it's just so comedic.
Yeah, I think for memes, I'm gonna put it in a C tier.
Yeah, fair.
Just because of the format. But for long form videos,
yeah,
I'd rank it a little bit higher.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, tell me about your Saturday excursion.
Yeah, well, I said I'd tell you about it. There's really only one thing to tell. I just got high crushed real hard, and like, I was bad, bro. I've never been hitting the balls that hard.
Oh,
like
damn.
when I think he ducked under. You know how normally you're trying to kind of like you get like kind of elbow deep, so you can be deep, but he was a little bit further away, so his forearms like flat, and he just like, I'll do it so the microphone can hear the sound.
That was
my experience on Saturday.
That was the Pope meeting the.
Yeah, that was my boys being split.
Yeah.
Splitting the boys.
Okay, now
that's the next module.
Yeah. Systematically splitting the boys.
Systematically splitting the lads.
Oh man.
Good memes.
There we go. And we're gonna have a graphic on screen.
Oh, okay, cool.
With the thing.
The tier list.
Yeah. We need eventually I'm going to set up a whole new system here that we can have a screen pop up and
be cool.
Computer and shit. But it's down the line.
That's fine.
Yeah. So there we go.
Nice.
That was fucking great.
Great start. Magic, memes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, how much worse can it get from here, right? That's the question.
Terrible. Yeah.
All right. Now, you know what I was going to ask you? Because whenever we're training, it's always like, it never goes deep. We're always just talking shit.
Yeah.
Telling Eric to fucking stop fucking around.
Yeah.
And then,
never works.
Yeah, it never works. So what makes, because I know why I started like martial arts. And, for me, it was a place of like absolute terror. But what the fuck makes a person go, you know what I want to do for fun is get in there, clash into a fucking cage, clash my knuckles across the temple of some other grown-ass man while he's trying to like clink his shin across my dome. Like, what the fuck?
Clink his shin across my dome. That's good.
Yeah. What the fuck makes you want to do that? Like, that to me is literally the worst shit to ever do. Like,
yeah, but that's kind of why it's cool though, you know? Like,
I know it's cool, but like, it's cool to see someone else get clinked. You know what I mean?
I think it's part of the rush though, you know? Like if something isn't a little bit scary, like first of all, I think if you don't really have a love for martial arts, it's not going to like spark your brain the same way that it does for me, maybe, right?
Spark your brain is a very interesting choice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Holy shit. Maybe I have been clinked a few times. I don't know, bro. I was always into martial arts in like a kind of like secondhand way, you know, like I'd watch martial arts movies and I'd be like, wow, like it's like Bruce Lee. Wow. Like what is this magic? And then when I first got into boxing, I think initially I was 14.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I only did boxing for a year before I got into MMA. But I think maybe initially it was just like the serotonin kick that like got me kind of like, not like an addiction, you know, but like I was kind of like hooked on that feeling. And then I think through there, I was encouraged to go enough times that I kind of started to appreciate the art of it. I remember the first time sparring and I'm not getting like pieced up because no one was going hard on me because I was I was a child, you know, but just realizing that I wasn't, because I think as a man, you kind of want to believe that like, you know, if something happens, you can like take care of yourself. And the first time I was like, oh wow, I actually can't do shit against someone who's not even like a world beater, you know, you've just been doing boxing for like 3 years and you like whooped my ass. And so I think I kind of got into it through there. And then I think the first time, I actually think I just competed the first time because I felt like it was what I should have done to like prove that it worked, you know, like I was doing all this work, but you don't really know because sparring's not really fighting, you know? And I think the first time I had my first fight, I was just like hooked. Like I can't describe
Did you win that fight or did you lose that fight?
Yeah, I won. Okay. I lost my second fight, which hooked me even more, I think. I actually, it was actually a pretty big turning point in my life as far as my attitude because the first fight I won. Second fight, I went in just being like, I'm the best, bro. Like, why am I even training hard? Like, no one's gonna be able to beat me. And I got like pieced up, not pieced up, but like it was B class MMA. So when you were on the ground, you couldn't throw strikes to the head, and it was the first time ever going up against a jiu-jitsu guy. Because God bless Shuriken MMA. Shuriken MMA, I love you to pieces. But back in the day, the jiu-jitsu program was average. I think it was average all around New Zealand. And I just remember, I remember having spent all this time on striking and thinking I was like good at fighting. And then suddenly this dude took me down and I was like, well, there's a whole nother side to this. Like I kind of like reopened my mind a little bit more, and it kind of showed me the emphasis or the importance of like humility, which I think I had kind of lost along the way. And then that kind of, that's always been like a big thing for me now. So when I see like young guys coming up talking about how like they're just going to smoke this guy in the next fight, I'm like, you need to be careful because that's going to come back and bite you.
Like that's good for the cameras. It's good for the, it's good to, you know, like to draw up numbers. It's good for the advertising. It's good for all that shit. But at the end of the day, behind closed doors, inside your fucking brain, you cannot take this lightly. Yeah. And I don't like how it's kind of invaded the amateur leagues as well, you know? Because like no one sees you do it. You're not generating tickets. You're not generating money. You're not even really generating hype for yourself to like further your career. You're kind of just being a douchebag. You know what I mean? I don't know how to kind of put into words that aren't like super offensive. You know? But I feel like the foundations of martial arts, like what it used to be, again, before it was a sport, right? Back when it was just a way to defend yourself and better yourself, I feel like humility took a way more like front seat. Yeah, I mean, I guess like the fight aspect is always been kind of imbued with trash talk and shit like that, right? Yeah, I guess it is an inherently because I mean, like I'll tell you, so like kind of to draw that and to also like, first of all, what was your experience like going into your first fight? Like, what is that like? But I'll preface this with, I'll tell you my experience, and I can vividly remember in primary year 5, I think year 4, year 5. What was her name? No, did you fight? It was another kid. I think he was like a Tongan kid. And we had some beef. I fucking who knows what. I think it was like some bullshit about who can tag the best or some like fucking dumb shit. Yu-Gi-Oh cards. No. It was like he was into drawing, like tagging. And I was tagging, you know, and I'm like talking shit about his eye. I don't know what the fuck it was. I can't remember. But I remember like that was the first time and probably the only time where we were both like, me, you, fucking lunchtime, let's go, right? And then as soon as we did it and we're just sitting in class and now I'm like, fuck. Yeah. What the fuck? Like, that's real. This isn't, this isn't like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, you know, that was like 3 minutes ago and I was already all of a sudden do not want to do it anymore. Yeah. And then by the time lunchtime, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to look like a bitch if I don't do this. You got to show off and just take it. Yeah. And we just both went out and just fucking put our heads literally like facing the ground, swung our arms at each other. And then we got broken up and it was fine. And then we were like best friends after that. Yeah. But like that feeling of like, oh fuck, what the fuck did I just sign up for? Yeah, it's the build-up that's the worst, dude. Like the moment you throw that first punch, like all those nerves disappear and you don't think about anything else. But yeah, the lead-up is terrible. So for my first fight, I was 15 and at the time my parents were like kind of going overseas a little bit for work, but they were like importing fabric or something, some hustle that they were doing, I don't know. And so my fight lined up with this time when they were both away. So I just got like dropped off at my coach's house the day before the fight and he had to go out and do stuff. So I was just like sitting there alone in this like this house I'd never been to, just like just like hyperventilating, bro, just like freaking out. I was watching fights on TV, trying just to like, you know, kind of get in the zone and shit. And I remember that that feeling didn't go away. I remember all my friends were there to watch as well, which made me way more nervous. Like leading up to it, I was like, oh, this is me. Like, come watch me fight. Yeah. But then on the day, I was like, oh my God, they're all gonna be there. I'm gonna get my ass kicked and they're gonna see. Yeah, and then I remember walking out. I remember the first round being really calm after it all happened. And then I remember going back to the corner and just like my arms were filled with lead and my lungs were filled with fire. And I was like, was that 3 minutes? Like, and I realized I had like another 2 rounds to go. Yeah. It was bad, but it was cool, you know? Yeah. How did you win that decision or? Nah, I got a rear naked choke, which is funny because I didn't know any jiu-jitsu. You just fucking slapped it on. Yeah, the fight's out there somewhere. I'll find it for you. That's crazy. Evander Agnew. I remember the guy's name. Shit. Yeah. That's remember he judo tossed me to like the 7th dimension though. He like had me up against, because it was in a ring, he had me up against the ropes and I went for an underhook because it was all I knew how to do to grapple, and he just like hit it on me, just whop, boom, and he slammed me into the first round. And then the second round he did it, but I slipped off and got on his back and got under his neck, you know? So I didn't even really do anything good. I just like happened to land in the position. I was like, next. Yeah, that's the neck. Yeah, so thank God for crazy luck. Yeah, that was my dad's whole strategy the whole time when he wasn't training and I was training. And like I'd be like, oh, I've been training for 6 months, bro. Let's go. And then he'll just grab my neck from any position and squeeze for dear life. And like that old man strength, I just couldn't. Bro, he's so strong. I would just tap.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, bro, my neck's gonna be sore for 3 weeks if I don't tap.
Yeah. I actually want to be like your dad when I'm older, bro. The coolest guy in the world.
Yeah,
So funny, man.
Yeah, he's still fucking just a machine.
Yeah, just an animal. Do you think it's because of tiling? He's just doing manual labor all day. Is that where that
tiling's
strength
easy
come
now?
from?
Like he used to do underground tunnels.
Back in Romania or here?
Here
Okay.
when he first came here. So
Yeah.
he was a carpenter, like a cabinet maker in Romania.
Yeah, I remember.
And then he came here as a carpenter. But they were like, oh, we need a carpenter job at this underground construction thing.
Yeah.
And we can give you a visa for it, but it's like not really carpentry.
Yeah.
Like you'll do that once every 2 months.
Just to fill the quota.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, sure. And he comes in and like, if the machine broke down, they literally would dig by hand.
Dang.
And
Yeah.
like he said, like by, I don't know, he'll start work at like 7 or 6:30 or some shit. By 9 a.m. he had to change his clothes because he was drenched. Like it was just like
Yeah.
that sort of like labor, you
Just
know?
go.
Yeah. So I think his tiling is like easy for him. Like he's like, oh, this is like no big deal, you know?
How old were you when you came to New Zealand?
9.
9. Oh, so you were pretty old. I thought you were like 5 or 4.
No, 9. Yeah.
Do you remember much about it? Like,
Oh,
do you remember?
Yeah,
Like,
I went, you know, I did the first 3 years of school there. Like I still have friends from school.
Oh, okay, still in touch.
Yeah,
nice.
Like
That's
when I
really
go
cool.
back, it's like a fucking big party. and
Yeah,
shit. Yeah. It's fucking neat.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was actually crazy because I reconnected. You know how I found my friends? Because I didn't keep touch like until I went back.
Yeah.
And the way I found them is I looked up because Romania has fucking standardized like testing and like education is crazy.
Oh,
Right?
is it really strict and streamlined? And
Very much so. Like it's
super
fucking,
competitive.
Yeah, very much so. And they had all like exam results and like test results online.
Oh, and you found
like,
them.
And I'm like, all right, let me find my name.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
found the class and I just looked up and I'm like, I remember this guy. I remember, and I hit them up on Facebook.
No way.
And they were like, bro, come, I have my 18th. Like, come to the party.
Yeah.
And then we ended up fucking
Fuck, that's so
doing
cool.
hella crazy shit. It was fucking mean.
It's Romanian stuff.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Why did your parents move? Why did they come here?
Corruption, bro. Like,
Oh, really?
it's just,
It's political corruption?
it's just fucking, you know, like it you know, okay, here's what it is, right? Everyone complains about the country. And everyone's
Zealand?
no, Romania.
Romania,
right?
yeah.
Every Romanian like,
Okay,
oh, this, oh, that,
Yeah.
that politician, that politician. But if the cop stops you, you pay him the money. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everyone's in the system, but everyone's complaining about the system.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you got to be the change you want to see.
Yeah. Is it corruption if everyone's involved?
Right.
You know?
But
Yeah,
it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you're saying.
that's Andrew Tate. That's why he moved there. And he talks about how it's like free country. Well, it's free country because you have money. You motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
Everywhere's paradise.
Yeah,
if you got the bucks.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
know, it's free for you because it's corrupt enough for you to be able to influence it.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, that's basically it. It's just like there's no real future. Even if you get like as I said, everything's so competitive. If you get a good job, it's still kind of shit. Like
Yeah. It's like you have to know someone to. Yeah,
everything's about connections. You know, you can pay universities to get in, like under the table shit. And like even if you get a good job, like my mum's cousin, he's a doctor.
Yeah.
But he did his own tiling in his house.
Right. Yeah.
Now ask a doctor here
Yeah,
if they
if he's
fucking
ever
built their
tiled.
own house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. It's because they're like, fuck, man. Like if I can do it myself, that's money saved. Like that kind of shit. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's just not.
Just a different world.
It's just not the economy that you'd want. From anywhere to live. You know.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So there's but I'm glad because fuck, man, that shit, that system is like.
Oh, we're so lucky to live in New Zealand, dude. Like people
100%.
complain about New Zealand too, but I'm like, I don't know if you really like. My family is from South Africa, and I'm not going to claim to be South African or having like grown up in the South African system. But I went back in 2012, and it was the first time I actually like saw poverty, and it was like kind of shocking, dude. Like just like right next to these like really rich areas, these gated communities, just like slums as far as the eye can see. And I was like, holy fuck, I lucked out. I like won the genetic lottery, like the universal lottery. you know? Yeah. Very fortunate.
Yeah, I mean, even like Romania, there's so many like homeless beggars, and you know, it's almost like you get so desensitized.
Yeah. Is there a big drug problem in Romania?
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly the problem is it's as everywhere. It's an ethnic issue often because the gypsies, the Roma people, often are the people that are poor. They're often the drug addicts.
Yeah.
And then the gypsy, like the word gypsy gets associated with all those things.
Yeah,
and
everyone
then it
starts
becomes,
that sucks.
You know what I mean?
It's a repeating cycle, right?
Yeah. So a lot of from my memory, a lot of the drug issues that I saw back when I was young were like paint sniffing, like that level shit.
Just like accessible.
Yeah, but
narcotics.
nowadays I'm sure because like that was like you know, like my parents never really saw drugs because of the communist era. Like it was so closed, it was hard to get anything in the country. But like nowadays, it's, you know, everything's like available. So it's Europe. So, you know, I'm sure there is. Yeah.
My did I ask you, because my Instagram tag used to be Jiu-Jitsu Gypsy. Did I ask you? I was like, is it a racial slur? Because I didn't know.
It's not really though, because like, so in English, when you say gypsy, people use it as traveler.
The pikeys.
Well, they just talk about like, I have no home. I'm a traveler. I'm not tied down. I have no roots.
Right. So it's like
I'm a gypsy. Like
it's not an ethnic thing.
It's an identity. Because I've talked to like Maori and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gypsy. And I'm like, do you know what the fuck you're talking about? And then when we talked about it, like, oh, you're using it in a completely different definition, completely different term. When like the term gypsy in Romanian has an ethnic connotation and it's actually a slur. And like the weird thing is that the Roma people call themselves that too. So it's a confusing thing because it's kind of it's a slur, but it's also they're calling themselves that.
Do they call themselves that in the same way that African Americans call themselves the N-word? Like they.
Yeah, but it's not like the connotation of it being a bad word isn't really there.
Oh, I see.
But people use it derogatorily all the time. Like I could call you the gypsy and it'll be like a bad thing.
Yeah, how dare you?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's this really annoying thing where I'm like, this is clear racism, and everyone in Romania is like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, this is, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but they're just so entrenched in it.
Right, like no one realizes. I'm like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm like, no, dude, like you're clearly, it's a negative term.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
I've seen some pretty crazy documentaries, like it's like mini documentaries on Vice and stuff about like the Roma like communities and like the flats and stuff. Wild, bro.
Dude, watch the one in, there's this one, I think Vice did it. The underground community in Bucharest.
Oh yeah, dude. With the king.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, so that shit's like
different life, eh?
Yeah.
Like, do you know Bald and Bankrupt?
Yeah.
He does one. Yeah. So cool, bro. I wish I had that kind of social charisma.
Yeah. Like, how do you? Well, like, I don't understand that guy. So his YouTube channel was just him walking around vlogging and getting into adventures.
Yeah, bro. Just goes and talks to like babushkas and just
yeah.
Did
you see the one in South America?
No.
Okay, so he goes to South America, clearly high on cocaine.
Yeah, good.
And goes to a village, and everyone's telling him like, "Don't come here. Like this is cartel territory. It's bad."
Yeah.
And he gets himself in like a real sticky situation.
Yeah.
And
is
like,
that when he's in the car and they stop him, or?
I think he's walking in a suit. He's like, I'm sure they'll be fine with me. Like I look respectable.
You look robbable.
Yeah. And he was like legit. Like I reckon he was in like legit life or death danger because every village he would encounter was like, get the fuck out of here. And he was like, it's fine. High on cocaine, 100%.
Oh my gosh.
And I was so scared watching that video. I'm like, I know you posted this, so you clearly are alive. But fuck, dude.
Oh, you came so close. What a crazy life, eh? Imagine him watching that back sober as well. You're like, what?
Yeah.
He's like editing it. Just, oh my God, just shakes.
Yeah, I think he did say he's not going back to like those South American countries.
That'd be tough, dude. Yeah. I have friends that traveled South America, but I think they stayed in like the
tourist areas.
Yeah, the safe areas.
And that's the thing though, is when I travel, like we haven't gone a lot. We went to Nepal, we went to Solomon Islands. But like I don't enjoy necessarily just going to tourist areas.
Nah. I think you don't really get a good look of what the actual culture's like.
Yeah,
right?
but like I don't like sightseeing. Like they're like, oh yeah, go to this place. It's like the most beautiful. It's like I come from New Zealand.
Yeah,
like you're not going to show me something cooler than that. I'm sorry.
Like natural beauty.
Yeah, like Piha. Like
yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Like that's the coolest shit you've ever seen.
So normal to us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So to me, I'm like, no, like let me go in an alleyway and play chess with a hustler. Yeah. And that's what I literally did that.
That's mean. That's so
I tried, I was like, let's bet. Like, cause I know that they bet on the games and he beat me and I'm like, let me pay you. And they're like, no.
Oh, just cause you came in and they appreciate the.
No, because I'm white and I had a camera and they were worried. Oh. And I'm like, no, like, trust me, this is like, I want to do this. And you're like, no. Like, I'm not taking your money.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, fair enough.
This is a sting. You're a cop.
Yeah.
Have you told your Nepal story on this podcast?
Not on the podcast. I mean, like I've told bits and bobs. I told the part where I got like fucking absolutely blasted on the bus and did I tell you that?
And you were a little bit like they were like fucking swerving and almost dying.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, fucking palm sweating moments, bro. Yeah.
When you spent the night in the tent with the storm, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I just as soon as I got in that tent, I had eaten a whole fucking ball of hash.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was gone.
You're ready to go
instantly. I was. Yeah, because
there wasn't actually a storm outside.
Yeah, I mean, we woke up and we had to like walk through ankle deep running water down this mountain.
Oh shit!
And like with all the cameras and all the shit. So, and like the fuck, there's one thing to say about Timberland boots.
They work.
They didn't get wet. Like
really?
I didn't get wet in my boots.
In the Timbs,
and
bro.
they went
Dead
over.
ass.
They went over the fucking flaps. So I don't understand. Like the water went over the flaps. So I don't understand how.
Is it like? Nah, yeah, weird.
Like I was expecting to be completely wet. I took my shoes off. I was dry. I was like, holy fuck.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
so the video's out there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Cool,
It's on my YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, check out Eduard Todor Magician. What's your
It's just
YouTube?
my Eduard Todor.
Oh, okay,
yeah. It's my main channel, so not the podcast channel. I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably know that I have a real channel.
Yeah. Check out the story. Pretty wild.
Eduard Todor.
Live vicariously through Eduard. That's what I do.
Yeah. So what was I saying? There was something I was saying, but anyway.
So you asked me what kind of sparked my interest in combat and martial arts.
Yeah.
What about magic caught your attention? Like I know you have ADHD and that kind of lends itself to obsession, but like why magic? Why not photography or any of like literally anything else? What is it about magic? Because you're so good at it, bro. Like as someone who knows nothing about magic, I can't believe it's not magic.
Right.
It's like I can't believe it's not butter. Is that card still up your sleeve?
I took it out a while ago.
Yeah, damn it.
But the thing is, here's the thing, right? In magic, you got to think about every single option. So as soon as I've done the dirty work, I have to be like, oh, can I see your sleeve? I should be able to go, no, it's fine.
So the work's not done when the trick is done.
Exactly. And sometimes the work's not done. The work hasn't started when the trick started. Sometimes it's not months, minutes before when I'm setting things up or I'm doing something. So I'm always, sometimes we're having a normal conversation, but I'm setting up some magic shit.
For me, the trick is here to here, but for you, it's there to there.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Was it a person that got you into magic? Was it someone you saw?
Yeah. So I've thought about so obviously I've told the story of how I got into it, and I've thought about why I got into it a lot, and these are the things that I can figure out. Okay, so the problem with my ADHD obsessions is that they are random.
Okay.
There's a certain amount of like, ooh, I want something like this. But once it clicks, it's like a train on train tracks. I can't stop that shit unless I like isolate myself from the activity, and then eventually it goes away. So that's one thing, right? So it's kind of random and I can't control it, which is kind of the issue. Because if I could control it, I would just get obsessed about university and then it would be like, I have a real job. You know?
Things.
So in year 9 English, we had a teacher that was really, really cool. And most people would say she was kind of like lax. And
it's always
like,
the English teacher though.
Yeah, but I say it was the best teacher I ever had because I met this guy, Kyle McAdam. He'll probably be on the podcast eventually. And fucking hated him.
Okay. Yeah.
Fucking hated this cunt, right?
Yeah.
And so he's just annoying as shit, sits down next to me, annoys the fuck out of me. And I'm like,
come on the podcast, you piece of shit.
Well, now we're really good friends. Yeah. But back then I was like, so all we did was just like try to annoy each other.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, you suck balls. Big, saggy, yellow, hairy. And I would just go on and on. Balls.
Which in year 9 is like the pinnacle of humor.
Absolutely. And then he'd be like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like I'm trying to do my work. And I'm like, you suck balls. Like the most, and it would just be hours of this shit.
Yeah.
So one day he comes in and he just like, you know what? Puts down like actually I'll do the trick that he did to me.
Please. Yeah.
So do you ever, so he wrote down a prediction, right?
A prediction. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
But do you have a card that you like?
Yeah. Do you want me to say it?
Yeah.
7 of diamonds.
7 of diamonds.
It's my lucky number.
Oh, okay. Do you gamble with it or?
No.
Okay. Well, if you did, I just let you know right now, it's probably not as lucky as you think.
Okay. Yeah.
So, okay. So, I said this at the show and I was like, do you gamble your house on anything? He's like, yeah, I don't have a house. And then I'm like, yeah, in this economy, it's pretty hard, right? It's hard to be a degenerate gambler.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then everyone had like a relatable moment because they're like, we can't afford a house.
Yeah.
It was great.
I'm also suffering from crippling gambling addiction. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm shuffling these so you don't know what's where. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
We need like 4 cards.
Okay.
So just say stop 4 times.
Okay. See.
So whenever you
stop.
Yeah, that's one.
Stop.
This one, or I was about to.
Let's go that one.
This one.
Yeah. Stop.
This one.
Yeah.
One more.
Just gonna wait till the last card.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, let's do that one.
This one?
Yeah, so the one you just put down.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're not going to wake up tomorrow and be like, fuck, I wish I went for the next one?
You're right. Let's do this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No. But
Or do you want to go to that one?
Let's go that one. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Or that one?
Let's go.
It's up to you, 100%.
Well, you've got me second. No, let's go this one.
Okay.
Just to get the
That's fine.
get the ball rolling.
So the idea is, if you said stop anywhere else, the outcome would have been completely different.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Well, I shall leave this here. With your left index finger, touch the back of a card for me. Okay, hold it there. So look, if you went for this one, that would have been an 8 of diamonds. Very close.
Yeah.
One number off, but not the one we're looking for.
For sure.
If you went for this one, that would have been 4 of diamonds. We're seeing a trend here, but it's not. This one would have been the ace of hearts. So completely not the card that we're looking for.
Finding the aces.
But you had a lucky card and you said stop and you chose which cards to put down and you chose which card to touch.
I'm going to flip my
And
shit.
you selected the card. So would you like to take a look at that card you are holding right now?
What the fuck? Okay, so this was the first magic trick you ever saw.
So this but very bad.
Because that's wild.
Yeah, this is like this. So this is the longest performed trick I have.
Okay, so
I've been iterating and making it really good and working out the psychology of it and all the shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, he showed me a very terrible version of this and I still couldn't fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, you fuck. Like I was so mad.
Yeah, what's his name? Kyle?
Kyle, yeah.
Of course it's fucking Kyle. Such a Kyle thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I pestered him as usual with the balls trick and all the other tricks for like the next 4 hours at school. And then he finally broke and told me the trick, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, no, keep going, yeah.
And so I went home and I'm like, I need to get this motherfucker back, right?
Yeah.
So I went on YouTube and I'm like, I remember a trick I used to do and I started looking for it, couldn't find it, learned a different trick, came back the next day, showed it to him. He was fooled. He goes home the next day, looks up a trick. And so that whole year, we're just fucking battling it out out of pure spite.
Yeah.
Right? And by the end of the year, we're like, holy shit. We're actually like pretty good now. Like,
did we just become best friends?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much that. Yeah.
Weird. Can you pinpoint a moment where you were actually like, maybe Carl's not a dickhead?
I think in the back of my mind, I enjoyed having someone to fuck around with. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like he'd be like, just to piss me off, he'd take the dictionary and just start reading out of it, like out loud. Disdain, a feeling of show of superiority.
Yeah.
Next word. And I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That kind of shit.
That's funny.
But the good thing about that whole thing is we did no work because we were just fucking around.
Yeah, good thing you had a chill teacher. What was her name?
Miss Noom.
Miss Noom. Nice.
And we were in the front row.
Yeah.
Playing with cards the whole time. She didn't give a shit. And then when it came time for like internals and all exams and shit, we like got merits and stuff, and the people that were actually paying attention were like fucking up.
Mean. Yeah,
so
yeah.
like she couldn't really complain because we weren't like failing.
Yeah.
So it was just like,
all right. You were the worst kind of student.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. And then, if she had told you off and made you do English, maybe you wouldn't have ever gone to magic, right?
And I probably would have hated English because I wouldn't have associated. And then like later on in my high school shit, like I was still kind of like English, whatever. And then there was this other teacher, which is probably another really like an important person, that sort of made me realize that it's about like hacking the system. Like it's about writing what they want to hear. It's about figuring out what they want. So
it's playing the game, right?
Yeah. And then when I saw that, I'm like, oh shit, this is what I do best. Like I can, you
can bullshit.
Yeah, I can bullshit. This is magic. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so basically from year 11, I think all I did was read the teacher's marking guide. I never even read our fucking thing. I would just like fucking pretend to, memorize the quotes and pretend
what is the criteria I got to work within.
Yeah. And so that became my easiest subject.
Yeah. Was it your favorite subject? What was your go-to in school?
I think my favorite, because it was the easiest. Like I didn't want to do shit, because I'm lazy. So
I was always an English guy. I didn't like maths.
I hated math. I was really good at it, but I hated it.
I was so bad at maths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the same kind of deal where I would just like do last minute shit, look up the formulas and
yeah. Nice.
Science was really hard, even though I thought I liked it.
Well, didn't you go to university for something scientific?
Yeah.
Biomed or what did you do?
I didn't get into biomed. I went to health sci.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, but then I failed every paper. So.
Yeah, that's dude, university. And like, look, I'm talking shit about university. I'm sure there are good things. Like if you're going to be a lawyer, you got to do
lawyer, engineer, doctor.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of the things are just money making rackets. Like when I was in university, I would do papers on like creative writing and like mycology, and I'm like, why the fuck do I need this for like what I'm actually trying to do, you know?
At the end of the day, if you're interested in something, you're gonna,
Yeah. And the internet is in such a state that you probably could gain all that knowledge.
Yeah.
You know?
Like you know, someone could put together a magic degree.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, or you can just like learn it, like the way everyone else fucking does.
Yeah,
like,
online magic courses by Eduard Todor coming up, $54.95.
Yeah,
easy. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of I've literally sold not courses, but like in the same way instructionals. Like someone will make the buggy choke.
Yeah.
This is how you do it.
That's quite cool.
I've done that with magic.
Yeah. So if you had never discovered magic in that English class with my best friend Kyle, what would you be doing right now? Do you think? Like, do you have like? Would you? I mean, that's a hard question, right? Like, do you think you would have picked up on something else?
100%.
Yeah.
I've had many different phases.
Trains,
like
maybe.
Like
be a big train guy.
I've never been a train guy, but it would be crack up. Like I've done like, you know, gone into juggling sprees. And,
that's right.
The contact juggling stuff.
I think you actually got me into. Oh no, okay. My brother got me into juggling, but then I saw you juggling. I don't know. I think we were in the gym. And you were just throwing balls around. And I was like, I remember. That's sick.
Yeah. No, it's you know, just random ass little sprees like poid fucking spinning and shit.
Yeah.
Solving Rubik's cubes. I got into for a while.
Yeah. You're a Renaissance man.
I had a sub-minute solve one time.
Wow.
I think it was like 56 seconds or some shit.
I've never done a Rubik's cube. I looked online. I thought like there's the system, and I could never just get like the last layer, and I would just get frustrated and just throw it away.
Yeah.
I've broken like 5 Rubik's cubes.
Yeah. So the thing with the Rubik's cube, it's like an endless fucking thing because you can always be more efficient with the algorithms.
Oh.
So
okay.
it's almost like you can do jujitsu by like taking someone down, passing the guard, moving to side control, side control to mount to back to rear naked.
Yeah.
Or you can go
flying Goga Plata.
Right. Yeah. And so, you know, like, in theory, like you can always find like, oh, this is the most efficient algorithm for this specific position. And like, that's where then it just becomes like the craziest like nerd fest of all time because you're just like, bruh. And then the guys that do it blindfolded and you're just like,
yeah, that's insane. In like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think the fastest time, because I think they do time. Oh, I can't remember. I think they time the memory. Do they time the memory aspect as well? I can't remember.
The memory aspect.
Yeah, like when you're memorizing the cube.
I
wonder if they just give you a set time for that.
Yeah, I've never seen them. Oh, maybe there is a set time though. Yeah. I've never seen them actively like. I've never seen a time running, but
yeah, they always have that.
I still don't know anything about Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, they have like a timer where you put both hands on it and then. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Hey, can I take a pee?
Yeah.
Can we?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So talk to me about how you got into jiu-jitsu. I know it's not as big in your life as magic, but I feel like it plays a pretty important part of.
I'd say it like because of the way obsessions come and go. I'd say it sort of replaces it sometimes, and sometimes magic takes a massive back burner.
Yeah.
And I get really obsessed about jiu-jitsu, and then sometimes it like.
I notice that sometimes you are like in it, like you're there every day, twice a day sometimes. Yeah,
and sometimes like work gets fucked, like. You know, like
life gets in the way.
Yeah. So it just depends. Yeah, when IRD comes calling, jiu-jitsu takes a back burner. I'll tell you that much right now.
Who? Catch me if you can. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So, bro, I mean, yeah. So when I came here, I went to Henderson Primary, and Henderson Primary was an interesting primary, but the one thing I will say, they had grassroots amateur fights every day.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about every day, but
often enough.
Almost every lunchtime you'd see a fight. I would say like I would get into a fight a week minimum.
What?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
You were a troubled child.
Well, I mean, people would fuck with me because I didn't know English properly.
Of course,
and, you know what I mean. So
then
I had to, like, I would just like get. Like basically my only defense mechanism was to get fucking pissed off. And like literally see red, go bro. Black, all those memes. And like, it's not to say that I would fuck up anyone. Let me just turn this off.
Oh, good. I got a heavier question for you then before you talk about how you got into jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Were you, because obviously as a 9-year-old, you don't really understand the concept of like corruption in countries and stuff. Were you resentful at all for being like taken away from your friends and put in this place where you didn't speak the language, you didn't know anybody? Like not resentful of your parents, but just kind of like angry at the situation?
Nah, I think that was like one, I'm, ADHD, so novelty is interesting.
Yeah, true.
And I don't think I ever, like, I always understood that it's a better place to be for, my parents would always say it. They would always talk about the corruption. I would always hear about it.
Right.
You always hear every Romanian talk shit about Romania. And so you just internalize it as like anywhere's better than this, even though and like, to be fair, like my life in Romania kind of sucked as well because school was so fucking hard from day one.
Oh, yeah.
And we would go to church a fuck ton.
Yeah, I know your parents are pretty into it.
Yeah, like, mum got mad at me for talking about this the other podcast, but like we went like, I don't know, fucking 5 times a week.
Oh,
6
really?
times a week. Like
wow.
I was already like really up like
evangelical.
Yeah. And like, it's not like my mom was a bad parent or anything. It's just like for my needs, like I needed like free time at some point, and it was either school or church and nothing else pretty much. So it was,
and in her mind, she was doing the right thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I don't blame her, but at the same time, like I just those needs weren't met, and I was constantly like stressed and shit. So
and you were a believer, obviously, when you were a kid, because your parents.
You just believe
it just is what it is.
Yeah.
And you came to New Zealand.
So I came here. I had a lot more free time, and like
to fucking scrap.
School wasn't that bad in terms of like content. I learned like within 6 months, my English was like Kiwi accent.
Oh,
like,
really? Okay.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, this is easy as fuck compared to like when I was in Romania, we were doing like fractions and adding them and shit.
Oh wow!
And I come here and they're like, so what's 12 plus 17? And I'm like, this number. And like, how did you get there? And I'm like,
Romanian super genius.
Because this is the number. And then like they marked me down because I couldn't show my workings. And I'm like, it's the fucking addition.
I fucking hated the show.
Yeah, and I was like, are you fucking retarded? Like, anyway. So I still get mad about I remember my young self being mad about them marking me down. Like, you piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go fight someone in the fucking courtyard.
Anyway, so people would like, would talk shit or physically, get, feel like it's the easy target or whatever. So I developed this anger management fucking issue, and basically that was my defense mechanism. Like, as soon as something went down, it's on. I didn't give a fuck. Like, it would be in the classroom sometimes. I'll just like fucking throw their books around. Like, like it was like that level of shit. But it was also like kind of like I wasn't like a dick. Like it was always like because of a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And there's this weird cliche, and I don't even know if it's around in schools anymore. I think it might be because it still seems pretty soft. It was like, if you tell a bully, stop it, I don't like it, they're gonna stop, Yeah.
But and they're doing it because there's shit happening at home.
Yeah.
I had nothing at home. I was doing it in response to the the stimulus, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I remember there was a lot of like stuff, but some of the big fights I remember. One of them that I lost badly. Guy definitely did judo.
Oh, okay.
And I got fucking
bombed you.
Boom, and then punched in the face once, and he ran, and I couldn't catch him. He was too fast.
The man.
I was so pissed off because I'm like, bro, if I catch you, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Couldn't catch him.
Yeah. It's like a Looney Tunes episode. Yeah.
I remember running and crying my eyes out.
And then out of the doors. Like,
yeah. Oh man. Another time, he's just like stupid ass fucking. The most satisfying one was like this big Tongan dude. We were like out, whatever, and I got hit in the head with a ball. I wasn't even playing with the ball, and hits me in the head like low key concussion. It was like a hard hit, and I look around and he's laughing. So I just run up, start swinging.
Yeah.
And I remember like the teacher comes to like break us up, and the teacher's like putting their hands kind of over it, and I'm just uppercutting the guy under the teacher's hands. And then when I left, the kid was crying.
Yeah,
and I'm like, fuck yeah.
Poor kid didn't even throw the ball, right?
No, he did.
Oh,
he kicked it. Yeah. So anyway, and it was a big fucking Tongan guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had these things where it's like, oh, anger got reinforced because like that, Success. I asserted myself, Results. And I didn't look like a bitch.
Yeah.
And then so then like left to a different school, came to Sleight Primary, no fucking fights.
Yeah, game
no
changer.
one wanted to fucking scrap, and I was like, okay. This is cool.
The fucking alpha kid in Sunny. Yeah.
Well, there's no reason to get angry. Like I wasn't even alpha. I would just get pissed, So
North Shore's very chill.
Yeah, and then I had like I got sucker punched in intermediate in North Shore one time, but apart from that, it was like nothing. And yeah, so then like I grew up like on the shore, like just being like having this deep sense of insecurity of like if shit goes like so because there was no stimulus, I stopped getting angry. Nothing was reinforcing the anger. I literally would never get angry.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh fuck, now if something happens,
you don't have that trump card.
I can't get angry. Like I literally will get scared before I get angry.
Yeah, it's a muscle you got to flex, right?
And there was this deep sense of insecurity. Like even when I kind of, was like 16, whatever, I'd go into the city for something and it would get a bit dark and I'd just feel like, fuck, like I don't feel safe. And like, I felt like if my dad wasn't with me, I wouldn't feel safe.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was the worst feeling. It was like the biggest like bitch feeling of all time.
That's pretty normal. You obviously don't think it's normal when you're 16, but like,
but it's that thing of like men should feel, should be the thing, and
be a man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then there was the moment that fucking tipped it for me, because my mom was super against martial arts. She wouldn't let me. Obviously, Dad used to compete in kickboxing, so he was like kind of wanting to.
I love your dad so much.
He wanted to obviously wanted to teach me and shit.
Wish I
but
could
Mom
marry your dad. Oh, sorry, did I say that out loud? Oh my god.
Yeah. So.
Edit that out.
So we were driving down Albany Highway and it was like late at night, me and my dad, and I can't remember what we were coming from. I was 16 and there was this, I think 17 maybe. And we see this like passed out lady on the side of the road, middle of nowhere. Like, there's like no lights and stuff. It's like portion of the Albany. Yeah. And we're like, what the fuck? So we pull over and like we get out and we like make sure she's alive. She's fine. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go call an ambulance. He calls the ambulance and like, he's like, doesn't know where we are. So he goes to like one of the houses. It's a long driveway.
Leaves you to stay with the lady. Yeah.
And a car pulls up and this drunk guy comes out. He's quite tall, lanky, tall guy. But when you're 17, like it's fucking adult. Yeah. And he goes, bro, what the fuck? Like what'd you do to my woman? Blah, 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 what kind of shit? Yeah. And he's wasted.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, bro, like, trying to like diffuse the situation. He's not having it. So he starts kind of like coming towards me and I'm like, stay away. Right. And I start running in circles around him, like literally in circles. And like, he can't catch me. But again, that fucking terror, insecurity, all that shit comes back up and I'm like, dad. And I just like, I still get fucking flashbacks of me shouting and feeling like an absolute bitch.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I fantasize about just fucking pile driving that motherfucker.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Dad comes out. He's like trying to defuse the situation as well. Guy doesn't listen. So Dad's like on the phone with the fucking ambulance and he's like, hey, don't come any closer, right? And the guy stops stepping up and then the ambulance is like, what's happening, right? And he's like, some idiot attacking me. And the guy's like, what'd you call me? That kind of shit. Yeah. And so Dad, with the phone in hand, just pops him, right? Like instant black eye. Like he didn't even have a closed fist. He had the phone in his hand.
Hit him with the bottom knuckles.
Yeah. And the guy stops and instantly just like, oh, it's all good, bro. It's, just instantly de-escalates and it's all good and nothing happened and we went home. But that feeling, I'm like, fuck that. Never again. I don't want to feel that shit ever again.
And that's what you got into martial
and then I'm like,
arts.
Mom, I don't give a fuck what you say. And she's like, yeah, okay, you got to pay for it. I'm like, okay, cool. I got a gardening job. I got like some old lady that I was doing gardening for.
Yeah, I mean.
And I'd pay for jiu-jitsu and I'd go to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And for a year and a half, like maybe close to until I got my blue belt, every fucking day I rock up to training, massive anxiety.
Oh, really?
Terrified.
Wow. So I would never have said
terrified.
Like, just having seen you there,
holy shit. Like legit, like terrified of the confrontation, terrified of the intensity.
Yeah, well, you're actively facing your insecurities, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like I didn't care about losing. I just the sensation was too much.
Anxiety doesn't have like a point of call, right?
Yeah. So I literally was like, I'm gonna get fucked up. That's fine. Terrified.
Yeah.
And it lasted way longer than I thought it would. But I just kept like, I was just like, I'm just gonna get to training. I don't give a fuck. And then just kept doing it. So for me to even get blue belt, to get purple, to fucking coach is like I didn't even think I could get like to blue belt. You know what I mean? Like I was just like,
you thought it was a 6 months thing.
All I'm going to do is just not be scared. Like once I'm not scared, that's all I want.
I'm out. Yeah.
I didn't think I was out, but I was like, that's all I ever wanted. If that can happen, I will be the happiest person ever. You know?
I think maybe that's almost a benefit, right? I feel like some people come into jiu-jitsu and they're like, their goal is to be able to whoop ass, you know, and you never get there. Like there's always someone that's going to kick your ass, you know? I feel like that's like a very fleeting motivation. Whereas I feel like to like, if you just like the journey of like learning how to kind of take care of yourself, there's a bit more longevity to that.
Yeah. And also if it's like, you're just battling demons, any small improvement you make on the mats is like compounded 100%. Cause you're like, bro, the battle wasn't even to train. The battle was getting to training and like not pussying out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And imagine if you just like caked it, you know, if you hadn't come back.
Yeah. That would have compounded the insecurity 100%.
Yeah.
You know?
do wonder how different your personality would have been as well. Like, if the anxiety would have kind of manifested itself in different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been beta soy
Yeah.
the whole time.
Would you have approached Amy in town if you didn't have that?
I don't think I would have been in town.
Okay, nice.
Because town would be too triggering.
Yeah.
Especially like drunk people still trigger me to this day.
Oh yeah, dude. I went out Saturday night and I was kind of drunk, and then like, as soon as you stop drinking, you start to kind of sober up. I just had this like moment of like, and I was just, like in my own body, and I looked around and everyone was just like doing the same thing on the dance floor, and I was like, oh my God.
But like mostly outside of clubs where there's like, you know, like that kind of gray area where, you know, we've been I've been followed by some random guy before, and it's like, what does this guy want? Like, do I need to fucking fuck him up, or what the fuck's going on? You know,
it is scary. I think it's super important to be able to protect those people around you as well. You know, because like you say, like if you can, I know you said you're not that fast, but like you could probably outrun a drunk guy.
Oh yeah.
You know, but if you have people with you that you can't leave behind,
that's the thing. Yeah.
I saw this. I actually heard this quote, and it's like, you can't, because I'm big on de-escalation, right? Like the idea of fighting like in the streets is terrifying because so much can go wrong. But some guy was like, you can't de-escalate with someone who knows they can beat you in a fight. You know what I mean? Like you have to have that like,
or at least thinks.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's
what happened with my with that flatmate.
Like, the crazy Chechnyan.
Yeah. He says he's Dagestani, but I fucking called bullshit.
He's fake Dagestan.
Yeah, gave me double underhooks. Like
no Dagestani would do that.
Fucking absolutely not.
Yeah. But the Dagestani would have flipped you with his mind.
But it was just that the thing of like I was de-escalating to the max, to the point of like, bro, you're so strong, and he's just like fucking like one brain cell focused, like I need to fuck this guy up.
He was drunk?
Yeah.
Oh,
and like that triggers me because I'm like, now every time it's a drunk person, I don't know, like it's just this weird thing.
And they'll do dumb stuff as well.
Yeah.
Does he have a knife? Does he?
Right. And he literally said like, I'll stab you. So I'm like, oh, that's a problem.
And if you had beat that guy up, you still live next door to him for the next like 24 hours until you can move out.
Bro,
right?
even before he brought out like, because he was mad he couldn't throw me. Which, by the way, I never told him to. We never agreed to grapple. I was I was literally like,
I said to teach you some stuff, right?
Yeah, I was like, bro, so you're telling me like if I had a match, like, because I could see him getting angry, so I'm trying to massage his ego.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're telling me if I had a match, you wouldn't coach me? That was the last words before he like ran up on me.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck is that?
Just idiots.
You know?
Dumb
anyway,
people being dumb.
And so what I was gonna say with that is that I felt fear, and I was de-escalating. And afterwards, I felt really guilty because I was like, did I de-escalate because I was scared? Or did I de-escalate because I thought it was the right thing to do?
You know what? I think you de-escalated because you were scared, and you were scared because you were smart. That's the way I look at things. Like, if someone's like trying to get into a fight with me, like I'm pretty confident I could take most people in a fight. I'm still terrified of fighting. Right? If you're not scared of fighting, you're a dumb fuck.
Yeah.
You're such an idiot. And you know what it is? It's if you don't know the reality of violence, you're way more likely to seek it out. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's that same thing of like, okay, I fucked this guy up. First of all, if he's willing to do some crazy shit, I have to like legit like break his arms. Put him out.
Yeah.
Call the cops, tie him up. Like that's some commitment. Like
there's a lot to the process.
You know what I mean? Like,
especially if he's a big dude, bro. Like, even though he couldn't fight for shit. If you're 100 kilos, like we were talking about that Kit Dale video, right? Back to the memes. Oh my God. Continuation.
Wow. It comes
dope.
back around.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like that is like one shot from a guy like that could be it, you know? Yeah.
And that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me. The other day, there was like that, I don't know what his name is, pro MMA fighter doing his
Ryan
camp.
Hikita.
Yeah, I think so. Holy shit. He's like, oh, let's start on the wall. I'm like, oh yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing on the wall, so that's one thing.
Yeah.
But bro, I had double unders and he just folded me in half. I was like, holy fuck, where did that come from?
That dude is 95 kilos, like ripped.
Does not look it though.
Nah.
Because I look at him, I'm like, oh, he's probably like 77 or some shit. Yeah.
You clinch up with him and like, I tried to body lock him and like my fingers like just got together and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
You're a big boy.
But like, and yeah, so now I'm like, I'm begging fucking Joel when he's not injured. Like, please teach me on the fence because fuck, man. I should be able to like, if I'm starting on top, like I should be able to like put someone fucking down.
Well, why don't you go to the Tuesday classes?
But they sometimes I rock up and they're doing like mount.
Oh, yeah.
Like, is this the best use? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
You can escape mount already.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's like some basic stuff that I'm like, okay, well, I don't really need that. But if it's just fence work, I
know a little bit on the fence.
Yeah.
I can teach you some stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I'd be keen.
Yeah, it's me, bro. It's good for, because there are like fences in real life, you know, both physically and metaphorically. But you know, like if you get into a fight and you start moving
politically,
around, you're gonna get pressed up against something, you know.
Yeah. No, I like it. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of my game, it's like body lock heavy and stuff. It like translates, but there was that element of like, oh, I can't even take you the way I want to take you. What the fuck am I supposed to do? You know?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that.
It's very like you've lost a whole dimension of like you can't get them drawing back to lateral drop or duck under or anything. You know, it's very much just like forward pressure.
But yeah. All right. So that was how I got in jiu-jitsu. So you tell me your story.
Oh my gosh, dude. So I think I've mentioned before that I was pretty into striking. And I was like, what is this jiu-jitsu bullshit? Like these dudes just like rolling around on the floor in pajamas. Like, get out of here. I'll just fucking pop you in the chops. And then my first time rolling with our old friend Andro. Ed knows him. If you know him, you've been blessed. He's an interesting guy. He's the man. I love him so much. But this must have been, wait, hold on. I was like 15 and a half. This is a long time ago. It's like 12 years ago. And I still kind of thought I was the business. I was like, I don't know any jiu-jitsu. Oh, no, hold on. I didn't know.
How old is Andro? How much older is he?
Andro must be 34. I'm going to say 32 just in case he's listening. Andro's ageless, dude. Yeah, I think he's about 30. I think he's 32 or 33. Could be. I don't know. Yeah. He's a
bit older anyway. So he would have been a full grown man.
Yes. Well, he felt like it, you know, and I just got blitzed, bro. It was a 5-minute round and I got darsed 5 times. And I was just like, I remember just...
Big surprise for anyone that knows Andro. I wonder what he's going to catch him with.
The DAS master. And this is before I knew what a DAS was, right? So I didn't even I couldn't even comprehend how his hands were wrapping me up or how he was moving. Like I remember he was on top of me and I was like, stand up, you know, because I'd kind of done like, just like, bridge and roll, scramble up to the feet. And I went to bridge and roll and it was just like a brick wall. And I remember just being like, okay. Yeah. Actually, you know what? This was actually after my second fight. So after no. Was it? I don't even remember. What is
So
time?
you literally had 0 ground game, like zero.
Yeah,
zero.
bro. I watched like my 4th MMA fight, maybe a couple months ago, and I'm just like letting dudes mount me, and like thankfully I was just like memeing the just stand up shit, you know. Like I guess because I was a bit smaller, I was a bit faster. I could just kind of.
Were you always like super athletic?
I wouldn't even call myself super athletic now.
Don't give me that shit.
I'd say
bro. I was thinking about this and I was like, why is Matty so fucking good? Like, take his skill away. He doesn't feel like, how much do you weigh?
I'm like 75 right now.
You don't
74.
feel my weight.
Oh, thank you.
You grab a grip and I'm like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
Or you bounce up out of positions like you're like a spring and I'm trying to hold you down and like you never stop moving and shit. And I'm like, what is it about it? And I reckon it's like a mix of like, you're not the best at any one stat, but your flexibility is way above average. Your strength is way above average for your weight. Your speed is way above average for your size. So it's like all these stats mix, and then you're really good on top of that.
Oh, thank you.
And so it's like,
I appreciate it.
Fuck, like there's just nothing I can do.
Yeah,
I think there's no one area I can beat you in. You know?
I think what it is my athletic strengths lie outside of like the classic. Like you say, I'm not like super fast, I'm not super strong, but I think my flexibility, I think my balance, and I think my coordination is really good. I think potentially from juggling as well, because I do juggle a lot. So just like having the ability to kind of like be aware of multiple things. Like I do a lot of arm drags where you have to be able to track the wrist, track the elbow, and kind of just like hit it all at once. Yeah. So I feel like I have meme athleticism.
Yeah.
I wish I could be a bit stronger though. I'm trying to work on it. I'm working on it. We'll get there.
I just got super happy that I PR'd 8 reps of 80 kg squat, so you have nothing to worry about.
That's good, bro. Like if your technique is good, like if you're not just like quarter squatting it, if you're going down.
Oh, I'm going low.
Yeah,
in fact, I might be going too low because I'm low bar squatting and I'm trying to figure out how low I should be going. But
why are you low barring instead of high barring?
It fixed my chest.
Oh, because you're not as
Like it literally every time I do it, like my clavicles pop.
It pulls you out. Oh,
and like I literally feel it opening up.
Yeah.
So like for weeks I couldn't actually squat. I would just put the bar there and just like stretch.
Yeah. I think 80 for 10 is good for someone that's not a strength athlete, you know? I think a lot of people's fitness ideals have been kind of poisoned by Instagram because you only ever see the top of the top, these fucking juiced up dudes with like perfect lighting and a perfect pump doing these crazy weights. But yeah, if you can do 80 kilos for 10 with good form, slow down, hold, up, yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good. Especially especially because the majority of your exercise doesn't come under a bar, you know?
Yeah. But my point is that you're definitely squatting more than that. So you're very, what's it called? Humble with your
thank you, Eduard.
assessment of your own skills. But anyways.
Thank you.
So what were you saying?
Can't remember. I saying fuck Andro is basically the moral of my story.
He's the Craig Jones of.
Yeah, bro. He is.
Yeah.
But it was cool because I think it helps to have someone to gun for, you know, like in a friendly way, you know, like if I can get dasked 4 times next time by Andro, that's like a win. That's like a very noticeable increase in your ability.
The funny thing is he was also my
boogeyman.
my fucking target.
Yeah.
You know,
I think he's a lot of people's targets.
Bro, like I got dasked for fucking 6 years straight.
Yeah.
Like every time I roll with him, I would always seek him out because I was like, that was my thing. Like I was anxious as fuck, but I was like, I'm not gonna be a bitch. I'm gonna pick the hardest guy that's willing to go with me.
And you're like, this underhook will be the underhook that works. I didn't, statistically speaking, there's no way.
Every time I get an underhook, yeah. So that was another thing which I see white belts like fucking dodging people and shit. It's like, like if you're training. If you're really small, you don't want to get injured.
Yeah.
You've been training for a while, and you have injuries that you're trying to nurse, or like you're just generally like a fucking really competitive person.
Yeah.
Maybe just go with someone your own size, blah, blah, blah. But for me, because I was like, that was my issue.
Yeah, you had different hurdles to conquer.
I needed
right?
like the fucking biggest cunt in the room. And just like, that's what I need. Like the scariest fucking match. That's what I need every time.
Stop butt dragging.
Yeah.
How many knuckles is too many knuckles? I don't know.
How many handshakes with the Pope does it take to
with the
screw a light bulb or something? I don't know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How, because you've started doing a little bit of kickboxing now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's helping my chest injury, believe it or not, because I'm getting more flexible.
Yeah. And why did you start? Do you think was it to kind of fill that combative gap in your game?
Yeah. Well, as I said, I was in that fucking dumbass, stupid situation and I got hit and I blocked, like I got headbutted once. That was like, okay, cool. Next one, block. Need me to the stomach. I was like, that didn't do shit. But if someone actually knew how to throw, I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's this whole situation where I'm like, I'm very limited. I have to literally like drop this dude down and engage with him
and
as opposed to like
whilst calling the police.
Disengage and try to get away. So I just felt like, man, like, why am I, if I really am about this fucking like
the life.
No, but I tell myself I'm all about this like self-defense and like I that's like the backbone of it. Yeah. But then I don't do any striking. That makes no fucking sense. Like there's a cognitive dissonance there.
Yeah. I never really understood this. And like, I guess that statistic might be true where jiu-jitsu guys are like, 70% of fights end up on the ground. I'm like, do you know what percentage of fights start on the feet? 100%, my guy. 100%. Yeah. And if you've ever tried to take down someone with average takedown defense, it's way harder to take someone down than it is to not get taken down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Defense is so much easier from the wrestling standpoint.
Yeah.
So you have to.
All you got to do is time a sprawl.
Yeah. Especially if you don't have any fear of the striking. If your hands can be low and you can just start popping shots from the hip, like this guy can't drop me. I think it's very important.
That's a good point. So it's sort of like how Khabib dropped Conor.
Yeah.
Because Conor was so afraid of the wrestling, he reacted.
In a boxing match, there's no way. And we were talking about.
But I never thought about it the other way. How you're saying, if you're good at takedowns, if you have good takedown defense, you now can drop your hands. The other way around. If your striking is good, you now can drop your hands.
Yeah.
Because
which makes takedowns a lot more easier. Yeah. Well, it's like and not to say this guy dropped his hands, but a really good example is Donald Cerrone. Like his jiu-jitsu was slick, so he's like, if I get taken down, I ain't fuck. Like I'll still keep fighting from my back.
Nate Diaz.
Yeah. And as a result, like they're some of the best strikers.
I still can't believe Nate Diaz almost dropped Leon Edwards.
Oh,
like
bro.
in that last,
if he hadn't, he would have finished him, bro. Oh my god, Nate Diaz is such a meme lord. Yeah, and you know what? That's a win.
What a way to go, though.
What a way to go. Yeah. Oh, dude, I wish that guy the best.
Yeah, it's fucking
so
hilarious.
funny, bro. Yeah. Do you think Leon Edwards is gonna beat Usman in the rematch?
I mean,
yeah, me too. Yeah,
no.
I hope he does, bro. I really like Leon Edwards.
Yeah,
I like his journey, how like long it's taken to him to get there.
And it was crazy. Did you see the coaches analyzing like how he dips?
Usman.
Yeah.
Dips? Oh, no.
There was like a legit thing where they're like, there's a video of them going like, right here, he dips after every whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
There's a head kick there.
Wow.
And like you can see them setting it like in the same way that Masvidal set up that knee, and you can see him like training it.
Yeah. Just the different comes up.
Yeah. That's so cool to see where you like program these things.
Yeah. It's nice.
It's legit like programming a robot because you can't think.
No. You just got to go, bro. You got to have that script in your head already. Yeah. Wild. Imagine getting kneed straight in the dome.
Fuck.
I think about that when I see people get elbowed in the UFC. Like, I've been punched in the head before, and it's pretty bad. But like that, there's nothing there, dude. It's just bone.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not surprised so many people get cut.
Yeah. I've always thought like elbows are so much better than throwing in, because like you can break your hand.
Break your hands all the time.
I'll elbow a piece of wood. Like I'm not even conditioned. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, it just hurts
You
a
know?
little bit.
Yeah,
But your
yeah.
hands, yeah. Your hands are made for articulation, not
Yeah,
decimation.
for card shuffling.
Hard,
you know?
yeah. Such a better use.
Yeah. So then what? So you were fucking getting smashed by.
Oh yeah, what were we talking about? Yeah, sorry.
We're getting off track here, but
Yeah.
you're getting smashed by Andro. Then what?
And then I was like, maybe I do just have to learn this as much as I hate jiu-jitsu. And then I think I found my first thing. I started guillotining people. That was like my first ever sub I could hit with like regularity.
Shallow or deep?
I would do a shitty deep one, but it was like good enough that it would work. Just because like people would try and take me down a lot, and I'd be like, you know. And then I think as soon as I had that like first point of reference to build the game off, then I was like, okay, now I need to start playing butterfly guard so I can start to kind of instigate scrambles to get the guillotine. From butterfly guard came the arm drags. Then I started working off the back, which gave me kimuras, which gave me arm bars, and then I kind of started like piecing it all together, you know.
Then you had your leg locking phase.
Oh my god, dude, I was such a piece of shit. I just like exclusive. I don't think I hit any other submissions.
I understand how you got so good. Because
ADHD
I
obsession,
swear
dude.
to God that I fucking trained like in lockdown. Me and Dad were like drilling leg locks for ages, and then I rocked up at the gym and like couldn't hit it on anyone.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck?
I think I would never like claim to have ADHD in the same way that you do, but I definitely have these like periods of obsession where like I found leg locks. Did someone leg lock me? Why did I get into leg locks? Was it just to keep up? I don't know. I think the idea of just like splintering someone's knee, I was like, that's terrifying. So I have to know how to do it so it doesn't happen to me.
Yeah.
And then I just like got into the meta, and I just like I think I probably hit like 3 upper body submissions over the course of 2 years. Like in the gym, I was just leg locking. Competitions, I was just leg locking.
Yeah, but then you were like, okay, that's it. One guy didn't tap. I'm never leg locking again,
Bro,
And then
yeah.
you just won all your matches by armbar.
Yeah,
or some
dude.
shit.
I like splintered that guy's knee, and he just like didn't tap, and he still walked off the mat, you know, which was a really eye-opening experience for me in the sense that,
Did you feel it pop?
yeah, bro, hold on, can I pull my phone out and show you a photo?
Absolutely.
Because I've got a screenshot, just because when I tell this story to people, when people are like, oh, why don't you think leg locks work? I show them this photo, and I'm like,
Well, it's not that they don't work. It's just that
they're not. So jiu-jitsu to me is a streamlined system of incapacitation, but breaking a joint or hyperextending a limb isn't incapacitation, right? It's just pain. It's like the same thing to a lesser degree. You know how we do the argument about like bicep slices and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just pain.
But do you think certain people have certain flexibilities that means that the breaks happen in places where they can handle it?
Maybe, but like, so I don't know if you can kind of tell what's happening there. But I've like fully 180'd his foot, right? Like his knee is pointing forward and his heel is pointing forward. And I like felt it snap, crackle, pop. And I got there again. So I did that. He got out. I got there again and he still didn't tap.
Holy fuck, send this to me. I mean, it's pretty like potato quality,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I can see exactly what you're
it's a
talking about.
Huawei. yeah. So I don't know, bro. I just like, I put so much effort into something where I was like, what would happen if that guy just stood up and like stabbed me afterwards, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So that was kind of like the
But arm bars, some people do the same sort of shit.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
But then again, if the fucking bone, like, you know how you see what was the worst break I saw? I don't know, like fucking did Ronda Rousey break someone's arm?
Yeah, in Strikeforce.
I don't know, whatever. You know, you see these ones, but you can literally see the fucking arm like
Yeah.
like
That's
come
bad.
through or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they can technically stand up and keep jabbing you with the other hand.
Yeah,
but they're probably not going to really use that. You
That's
know
a
what I
good
mean?
point. That's a good point.
And
I was just frustrated that I couldn't tap him. You know, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's the same way like after the shows with the Magic.
Yeah.
Like all I have in my head is all the mistakes I made.
Could have done better. Yeah.
And then everyone else is like, oh, that was amazing. And in my head, I'm like, fuck. Like
that's partially why I stopped fighting as well. Because it got to the point where like I would win and it'd be like, that's right. But when I would lose, I would just think about it like 24/7, you know? And I was like, do I really want to do this, you know? Yeah, it's interesting. So to go back to the armbar thing, the thing I like about arm bars is that they link in to the back, which is a strangulation position, which is good. Whereas I feel like on the legs, they have to turn a certain way to then start to
Chase
work
them up
up,
for
you
the
know?
back.
But if I enter a Kimura armbar, yeah, I can pop. If it doesn't work, I can bend it back, I can pull them back over, and I can at least start to attack like, not secondary, but I can enter into primary conditions or positions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm like, again, it's stupid because I don't train MMA. Like I shouldn't give a fuck. Like, you know, but it's the fact that you have to be on bottom a lot of the times for the leg lock entries and stuff.
Yeah.
And like you see it sometimes, like, you know, like in the Ryan Hall fight, one guy defended the heel hook well enough to just pop him a couple times and put his lights out. And it's like, if he had spent all that time into wrestling and then just dominated and got on top and moved systematically through positions.
Yeah.
That would probably be higher percentage.
That's true. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's sort of my only misgiving about the leg lock system.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Although there's some positions that I feel like you could do in MMA pretty, like if you get into like a cross arshi with both legs.
Oh, yeah.
Like I feel like the amount of punching power they have from there is minimal. And I can, if you're not going to tie up my hands, I will fuck some shit.
100%. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I also don't like that you have to, like if that guy did, like the guy didn't tap and I actually had to like injure him pretty badly, you know, which I didn't like at all, you know, as much as I want it to be like realistic, like I'm not there, like I'm there for the game, you know, I'm not there to actually like fucking tear your MCL, like that's fucked up, like don't make me do that.
Yeah.
Just tap, you idiot. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get like fucking like PTSD from like the pops and shit? I feel like if it was a big snap, I feel like I'd be able to like visualize it and like.
Yeah. I don't know. Nah, not really, to be honest.
Okay,
yeah. Like it was still like, it was kind of like, oh, this is gross.
Right.
At the time. But then afterwards I was like, you know what, I'm just there to do my job. Especially because that was like a match for money. Like there was like, it was like the Queenstown tournament. So I was like, I kind of have to do this, my guy. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe another time I'd let you go. But I was like, he was way better than me at jiu-jitsu as well. Like I heard Rodrigo Teixeira. He's sick. So I was like, if I let this go and try to go something else, I'm probably not going to get it. I didn't get that either, but at least I think it enabled me to get on top and get points and all that jazz, which is what jiu-jitsu is really about.
About the
Give me
Brazilian
that too,
referee
dude.
not giving you the points. Yeah. Okay. So my question. Okay. So here's my question that I've been fucking thinking about. What do you think makes you? Because like you were fucking winning advanced tournaments from blue belt. I remember specifically. I remember like, you know, remember that edit I made with the fucking.
Oh yeah.
Like that, you were blue belt then.
Yeah, I would have been. Yeah.
So I did my blue belt regional tournament that I won in the gi, whatever the fuck. Who gives a shit? It's regional, not even open, not even national, whatever. And then it's the same tournament.
It's the same tournament,
but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I can't say it's a national.
Yeah, I feel you.
And then I went to purple and got smoked. Like the difference between the blue and the purple, I was like, holy shit, I'm way worse than I should be.
Yeah.
Right. How the fuck? Like, what do you think is like the pieces of the puzzle that makes you be able to like kind of perform at that high level from the, I would say not the start, but like from a pretty early time in your development?
I think because I came from an MMA background, I kind of saw through the smoke and mirrors of competition in jiu-jitsu, you know? So I don't think there were a lot of guys that I beat who were better than me at jiu-jitsu, right? But I think just because I practiced competing, and that is like a muscle that you have to flex, right? Like when you jump to purple belt, I feel like when you did your first purple belt comp, you hadn't competed for a while.
Oh yeah, I barely ever competed.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like you had that rust, you know? But I feel like if you had hit it bop, and blue belt, you would have had that smoother transition. So I don't think there's anything that I was doing like better than anyone else. I think I was kind of just a little bit more calm because I knew I wasn't going to get hit in the head, and I kind of had like that as like reference, you know. And the thing about jiu-jitsu, like there were plenty of guys in those competitions. There's plenty of guys in the New Zealand jiu-jitsu scene that didn't do those competitions I did, you know. It's like I can't, like when people are like, oh, you won this thing, like are you the best? And I'm like, no, dude, because jiu-jitsu is such an unregulated clusterfuck of a sport, you know. Like if you think about like judo or something like wrestling, something that's actually like worth two pieces of shit, you know. I love jiu-jitsu, but like if you win nationals in judo, you're the best in that weight class. If you win, like if you're in the United States, you win Fargo, whatever that competition is for high schoolers, you're the best high schooler. But like I don't think you can win a competition in jiu-jitsu and be like,
yeah, I feel like in jiu-jitsu you have to have like a resume. You know what I mean? Like it's like kind of an MMA, like who have you beat?
Yeah.
And I feel like you've kind of ticked a lot of those boxes over the times.
A few of them. You
know what I mean? I think you still qualify, but the other thing is you train like a madman. Like you've been training fucking how many hours a day? I don't know.
Yeah,
you're like always drilling with someone. You always have like you're always trying to plan your next drilling session.
I did live in my car as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much were you training when you were blue belt? Was that when the time you weren't living in your car then, right?
Nah. I moved my car when I was a purple belt, I think. Sorry, I'm getting really close to the mic.
Yeah, a bit intimate there.
Yeah. Well, when I was a blue belt, I was still doing MMA. So I wasn't doing that much jiu-jitsu, I don't think. I think only once I got my purple belt, when I was like halfway through my purple belt, I stopped doing MMA. So I don't think I was even competing that much as a blue belt. Was I? No, I did a lot of blue belt competitions. But I was doing a lot of, I think what helped me was the conditioning from the MMA.
I was about to say that. There's something about being a fucking high level MMA athlete that like the just gives you such an advantage over the jiu-jitsu guys that just lazy as fuck and don't do shit.
And I think that's why I beat a lot of guys that I should have lost to, just because I was kind of ready to go in there and fight. Whereas I feel like a lot of people in jiu-jitsu kind of go in there to play the game, if you know what I mean. But like having rolled with some of those MMA guys, like they'll smack you with the collar tie and it kind of like rattles you and you're like, oh.
That was my whole strategy against Damien. Because I'm like, even though I like at the time I didn't really know, but he like does MMA or whatever the fuck. I don't know if he's fought
from Oliver's. Damien. Yeah. Love that guy. Yeah.
Browns Bay.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm just because I know I'm worse than him, so I'm just gonna like overwhelm him with just like. I was gonna say something that's a bit cancelled, but
do it. No, don't do it.
Strength, like just strength.
Yeah, I know what you were gonna say. Yeah.
And he's stronger than me too.
Yeah.
But I remember like I fucking took him down. Or I was like, sweet. I'm definitely like better at standing. I don't know if it's true. Maybe the second time wouldn't have worked, but and then he like close guard on me, and I was just like standing up with him and just shaking him like a fucking just to try to like make him feel like, oh fuck,
And that goes a long way, bro.
It didn't work out, but
You know what I mean?
Could have. Yeah. So that was kind of my show because I'm like, I know I'm not as good technically, so I have to like at least psychologically overwhelm them somehow.
You gotta have some kind of advantage, right? Some trump card.
Yeah. And then on fucking what's his name, Yoshi, that didn't work at all.
Poor guy, dude.
So good,
but you fucking you tell the story.
I mean, it's been told, but have you seen the podcast with Clinton?
Yes.
Yeah. He was like, I know you choked out my teammate.
Yeah. Like, shout out Yoshi, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. He's good, bro. He's really good.
So fucking good.
He was beating you up.
17-0.
And what was it? Was it
So I was in close guard.
Yeah, was it a cross collar choke?
Ezekiel.
Oh, you piece of shit. You're such a dirtbag, yeah. Why did I even come here?
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things where you like, I feel like because I got to close guard before. I used up a lot of energy to get out. And then I think he put me back in there
was like 30 seconds to go.
So I kind of like faked that I'm going to go for the same thing and then boom, potted on. So it was sort of like, if it's kind of like in striking that, what's his name? The coach, Cam, he talks about, where like if you hit them with the thing, then they'll respect the feint.
Yeah.
And it was that thing of like, I was fucking going hard.
You were going A.
Yeah, and then I just went for the cheese.
You went to plan Z.
Yeah.
I remember watching that live.
And my pants are falling down.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. It was your best moment, I think.
I need to compete, so I get that off my record.
No. I reckon that should be your last match. That's a good one.
Because I swear to God, I've been talking about this hot one match for like fucking so many years. Yeah, I've been injured and shit.
Yeah.
But I need to get that out of my fucking psyche.
Yeah,
it's not the best look.
I can go back and do it again. Get one more Ezekiel from close guard.
I'll just wait. I'll just let him get points until it's 17-0. Yeah.
Classic. Just really put a nail in that coffin.
Oh man, yeah. I wish I found a way to do it consistently. I've got some new little details that make that Ezekiel work better.
From the close guard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. You can show me.
Yeah. It's still not good.
I've never hit an Ezekiel in my life. I don't even know how they work.
Really?
Yeah. I know they're good. I know they're really effective.
Yeah.
But
in the gi, they're fucking OP.
Yeah.
Like I'll hit them from mount all the time. In the gi, but
in
no gi.
Olenek.
In no gi, that one, I swear to God, it depends on the person's neck size. Some people, I just cannot get it. Like it doesn't matter.
I feel like some people's arteries are so like deep.
And traps as well. If their traps are there, I'm like, I just can't.
Yeah, like Ray.
Yeah. I don't know. I still maintain that I should be able to choke him. And last time I tried, I think I was wiped out. So
yeah, you just gotta go short. You gotta go across the trachea. Yeah.
anyone competing.
Yeah, hey, Ratio.
giving out the
yeah.
fucking the scoop.
Fuck it, he can handle it. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah. Well, so that was that. So yeah. So how did you get? That was the other thing.
Did I go off tangent?
No,
again?
no.
Okay,
We're
sorry,
always fucking ADD, man. Come on.
Yeah.
The other thing is, so okay, your stats are all above average, but nothing's necessarily like super high level. Conditioning, you're talking about competing. So these are all advantages that you had. What I think is underrated. I mean, obviously on top of that, you program yourself like a madman, as we're talking about, because you're always drilling, you're always doing something. It's like pretty crazy, which I want to ask you about how you don't get burnt out, but that's going to come later. The other thing is you have no ego around your game.
Yeah.
Like I swear to God, I will spend 6 months developing a new thing. And I'm like, this is my A-top shit.
Yeah.
I do it to you once. It'll work once.
Yeah.
And it never works again.
Yeah.
Because you just like completely avoid that whole position. You're just like, nah, I'm not going to give you the whatever the fuck it is.
My ego can't take it. Not a second time.
No, but it's not even that. It's that like what I would do is like, oh, you reckon you can pass with this shit? All right, let me show you why my half guard's better than your pass or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, nope, I'm just not going to go there. I'll beat you somewhere else. I'm like, how does that, like, because like body locking, it's such a grind. Like, if someone sweeps me once, I'm like, oh, nah, motherfucker, I'm going to pass you 5 times, you know?
Sure.
I'm not going to go to a different type of pass.
I think that has advantages as well, you know? You kind of to like put your nail. And I do get that with some things. Like if it's something that I'm specifically working on and I can't do it on someone, I'll do it. But
but that's just discipline to try to learn the move.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
But you don't have this like ego around like like I almost want to like go out there and have a match with Clinton where I try to take him down. Like, it's just dumb shit.
Combat jiu-jitsu match.
I know it's stupid. I know I'm just being an idiot, but it's still like I fucking want to prove it.
I think that's good, bro. Like I think it's cool to like engage with people on their A game. You know.
Yeah, but probably not in competition, is not right. Surely.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on the competition. I think. You know. Yeah. Like I'll try wrestle with Clinton. In like a stealth grappling match where like I know he's not gonna like bomb me on my head, you know. But if I'm up against a guy who's like a little bit bigger with like not a lot of control, like nah, fuck that. I'm not messing with that. Yeah. The ego thing, I think, just probably comes from time. I think because my coaches came from a traditional martial art background as well. Like Jason Bolster is from Kyokushin. And even like some of the guys surrounding him were from more traditional martial arts. I think that idea was always pretty big. But also I feel like people say martial arts kills the ego, but I think it just makes you more of what you already were, you know? So I think I was already pretty chill. Like I don't really think I ever have like anything to prove to people, you know? Like I'm not in there to like be a monster, you know?
Which is crazy because you don't think that someone like that would go and fight in a fucking cage.
That's
like,
a good point, eh?
You know what I mean? Like,
that's
why you're such an anomaly. Like that's why people like Marcelo Garcia and shit. It's like, how does someone become an ultra competitive top tier athlete and also be super humble?
He's the nicest
like
guy,
what the fuck, like it seems like it doesn't mesh.
I love Marcelo. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. I think I do have some of that in me. I think I just have a good like lock on it, you know. I think you need a level of ego to do anything well, right? Like if you were just like, I didn't get this magic trick, you know, like just leave it, you know, like that doesn't make you a good magician.
Yeah.
You know, so I think, but at the same time that like someone's biggest strength can be their biggest weakness. I feel like if you let that ego kind of run your life and you don't, like you said, like sticking to a plan of like what you're working on and when you're working on it, not just butting your head against the wall again and again and again. I think it's a balance. So I think I do have ego. I think it was just kind of, I don't say like bullied out of me, you know, but I feel like I learned pretty early on that like there are much better people out there than me.
I guess that's the benefit of starting early too, right?
Yeah.
Because you just, you know, like I feel like I had that benefit in the sense that I was very not very unathletic. Like I have good coordination.
Yeah, you're pretty athletic.
Very stiff.
Your flexibility
not
is
strong.
Yeah, I think you're quite strong. I think
now maybe.
Yeah, I think flexibility kind of alters a lot of athletic potential in like a lot of other areas.
I've been working on it a lot.
Yeah,
I remember you telling me like that's your biggest bottleneck. I'm like, okay.
I remember when you started, you were like abysmal. Like you couldn't even get near your toes.
No,
and you're much better
I still
now.
can't get near my toes, but I can.
I've seen you touch your toes once. It was like seeing a unicorn. It was wild.
I don't know. Maybe it was like a particularly good day.
Yeah.
But yeah, like because when I was 17, not very strong for my like build. Not fast at all. I've never been good at sprints, probably because I'm so stiff. And I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know. And very inflexible. And so I was always like athletically worse than the adults in the class that could just fucking ragdoll me even without technique, let alone with technique. And so, and then dad would always be fucking grabbing some random neck crank from somewhere and shit like that. So
Romanian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, some dumb shit. So it's like I had to find technical ways to do shit. And then once I started developing some level of athleticism, because now I feel like I can wrestle pretty well, like at some level.
You put on a lot of weight as well, like in a good way. You know, you were like, I remember you were like 67 kilos at one point.
Yeah, that's what I competed at, 67.
You're like what, 75?
77, 76.
Oh shit, looking buff. Maybe it's just the lighting in here. I don't know.
Yeah. So then that's like, I feel like I've built that strength over that technique, but it would be even more compounded in your case when you started younger. If you started super young, then you know.
Yeah.
That's why I think Grayson and fucking what's his brother's name?
Riley.
Oh my god.
I'm just beating that kid up as much as I can now, because in the future it's coming back. It's coming back hard.
Yeah, man. And like I just put him in a Von Flu the other day.
Yeah.
And then like the next time I went to the same spot, he let go of the choke. And I'm like, oh shit, 13 years old. He's remembered. I'm like, oh god.
I have no qualms with beating up a child. I'll say that right now on the record.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. So, okay, last question. Well, I don't know if it's the last one. We'll see how it goes. But the question that I really want to know, because I get this in every fucking aspect of my life, and I still quite haven't figured it out. How do you avoid burnout?
It depends what you mean by burnout. I think what I've come to realize is there's like physical burnout and there's mental burnout, and they're very like disconnected, but there's also a big overlap in a way, right? So I think mental burnout is more just about like keeping yourself engaged and like not like you'll start to, because you kind of exist in like an echo chamber in your gym, you'll start to develop these moves and you'll kind of hit a wall, and it's very easy to be like, fuck, my jiu-jitsu just sucks, right? But it's not. Like your jiu-jitsu is actually really good, and if you went to another gym and you tried that same move against a guy who doesn't see it every single day, you would get it. So I think it's important to like in strength and conditioning, I hear people talk about like a move getting stale. Like you'll squat for ages, and then as soon as you start to like hit a barrier, like just stop squatting. Well, not stop squatting, but put it on the back burner, do some maintenance work, and go to work on something else. So I think that's really helped me in jiu-jitsu. Like as soon as I get to a point where like the technique is getting a bit stale, I'll move on, and that kind of refreshes, like it's like a new serotonin kick. I find this other cool shiny toy to play with. Physical burnout is a lot harder to manage, I think, because of like the era we live in of like hustle culture. Like you always have to be doing more. Like what, you're sleeping 8 hours a day? Like what do you mean? Like when I was your age, I was sleeping -5 hours a day. You know, I think so. Like people are encouraged to go, but it's important to realize like every day you have to ask yourself, what is the best thing I can do for my jiu-jitsu? And sometimes the answer is nothing. Like the best thing to do is just to not do anything. And for me, if I hit one of those days, I used to try and push through it. But now, like if I'm tired, if I'm not optimal, not optimal, if I'm just like feeling bad, I'll just be like, fuck it, I'm not coming in today. You know? And I think especially for rolling, that's a big thing. Like people will roll not fresh and tired, and then that gives you like an idea that your jiu-jitsu isn't good. And then that leads to mental burnout, which then kind of coincides to more physical burnout. And it's like a vicious cycle, you know? So I think like people being very strict, be as strict with your rest days as you are with the work you're putting in. You know what I mean? I think that's really hard for people, especially when you see other people, or like you have this idea that other people are just like doing more than me. Like, oh my God, like I gotta like do this to keep up. But it's like at a point, work is actually detrimental. Like you're doing yourself a disservice, you know? Because I'm sure you've experienced physical burnout, or maybe even more so mental burnout with magic, right? Like have you ever...
both, believe it or not, because you'll practice a move several thousand times. You start getting that RSI like little pain in your hands. Yeah. And you try to push through it, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And like it's like at some point you just got to put it down for a week. Like you just got like with those sort of like repetitive movements, sometimes it takes longer than just like one rest day. If you've really fucked up, like when I was learning the spring, which is a very basic move, but I was learning it at 12 years old, so I had no hand strength at all. And
your hands just like super buff.
Like this move, it takes like basically this muscle squeezes at a very precise amount to let those cards go. And doing this over and over as a kid, trying to learn how to spring, I legit started getting shooting pains through my thumb. So let me try. There you go.
Killed it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You just have to like constantly try that. And yeah. The rolling of the thumb is what lets the cards go.
Oh, okay. I'm just squeezing like a meathead. Sorry, I bent all your cards up as well.
It's fine. Cards bend. That's the point.
You can bill me.
That's fine. So my biggest, I think what I've realized, and like from what you're saying as well, is constantly being disciplined about finding the next thing. And I think oftentimes, like in magic, right? Like, because it's a job, I'll get gigs, and I go to the gigs and I do the same routines I've been doing for 10 years. To hundreds of people. Then I come home. It's like, I've just been working. I don't want to work more.
For sure.
And then you chill. And then like the next time you practice, it's like, oh, I got another gig tomorrow. You go to that gig, you do the same shit, come home. I've just, let me just chill out a bit, watch a movie, whatever.
Monetizing your passion, right?
Right. And then, so then it's like, it becomes a thing of like, you end up actually doing the same shit over and over and over again. And it becomes so stale. Like, there's something to be said about that trick, for example, that I learned, that I started with. I showed you, right? That there's so many little details that we could talk about how it could be improved, how I've improved it from where it was. And that comes from hundreds of times doing, thousands of times, tens of thousands of times doing the same trick, being in that situation. It's like when you've thrown a specific combination and striking thousands of times, that like 30% of the time they react like this, 25% of the time they react like this, whatever the percent of the time they react like this. You have kind of like counters to the counters.
For sure.
It's the same thing with this, right? Like, I know that what a heckler might do, and if they wanted to try to fuck me up, and how I would react to that. What happens if this happens? What happens if they wait until the whole deck runs out? Like how you said that happens sometimes. What happens if they go, no, I want to see the cards? Like, there's all these what ifs, and you're playing in a game of flowcharts essentially. And so there's like amount of time required to build that flowchart up. But there's a point where you're just making 0.00001% improvements to the flowchart. And at that point, your time is kind of being wasted.
And so that's a good point, actually.
And so I feel like that when I feel like the progression slows down to such a level that it's kind of useless, then I kind of get burnt out.
Do you find ADHD lends itself to more or less mental burnout?
Way more.
Yeah,
because the obsessive nature is like all consuming and then stops. And sometimes there's like a period of 2 weeks where I feel empty inside, nothing's fun.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about this before. That's is it just like a serotonin kickback? Like,
I don't know the mechanical aspect of it, but it's it's when I'm in those like obsessive phases, it's like life is crack. Like, it's the best thing that's ever happened. And it's fucking like, how would anyone ever be depressed? I don't understand it. It's the most amazing thing. Then it like goes to the fucking burnout phase, and I'm just like, nothing's fun. I can't find fun in anything. Like, it's just boring as fuck. Can't. And I feel like in those times, being disciplined about doing new things. Like the way, because like jiu-jitsu, it doesn't matter if I'm burnt out, I still go. Like, I might not be working on anything. I might just go in and like work on the move that they're teaching that day.
But you're there.
But I'm there. With magic, it's harder to do that because no one's there to be like, where were you?
No one's going to bully you back into it.
Right. So I feel like, learning from jiu-jitsu is like being disciplined and be like, no, what's my new project? Okay, this is what I need to work on. And these shows that we were doing that some of the viewers have been watching came live and stuff. There's something magic. It's like an open mic for magic where you literally come up with new shit to try. And it's been the biggest stressful thing of all time because it's like a fight. I'm like, yes. And then I'm like, why the fuck did I say yes to that?
Yeah.
But it forces me to constantly do new shit. And it like, it kind of reinvigorates that like obsessiveness every time.
Can I ask you about medication? Like, have you, I know you've been medicated in the past for it. Like, how do you find it affected you? Because I hear like different people say it's completely different.
So there's two major stimulant medication compounds that they use in New Zealand. One of them is methylphenidate, I believe that's called. It's Ritalin. And the other one is dexamphetamine, which is sometimes called dextroamphetamine, which is basically, I think it's 75% of Adderall. There's another little compound that we don't get in New Zealand that's in Adderall, but it's basically as close as you can get. And
Adderall.
And so the Ritalin I've tried, and the crashes are the fucking worst for me. I get super, super anxious and depressed on the crashes, like really bad.
Coming down.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
on each dose.
So you don't just like pop another one and you go back up.
You can, but then eventually, like what comes up,
it's compounding.
Like it's gonna come down eventually. You got to go to sleep at some point.
Of course.
Yeah. So
if you're weak.
Yeah. So what? I mean, it kind of to me, it felt like I was kind of like a low key crackhead, like just the lowest key, because there's the same effects, and like with tolerance, it kind of goes down a bit. Those effects diminish, but that like constant roller coaster, up down. You're constantly looking for waiting for the next up to do something.
You're just
to
a little
then
bit spun out.
And then as soon as you go down, you can't do shit. Like it's like the effects of ADHD are even worse on the downs.
Okay.
And then
you like kickback.
Yeah, and then like the longer you're on it, for me, the more the bad side effects come up. So if I use so Ritalin was shit. I went on Dex, that was a bit better. It's a bit more euphoric, which is why they don't like to prescribe it. But it's basically clean speed.
Okay.
Literally. Like it's amphetamine. Yeah. And the crashes aren't as bad, but if I take it for like longer than 3 days in a row, all the side effects start compounding. I get the bad depressive episodes, anxiety. I have to start basically smoking weed on the come downs. Because I'm just like getting high.
Yeah, you get some cross addiction.
Like I'm basically just getting like becoming a fucking addict.
Yeah, it's alchemy.
Yeah. And so it just doesn't work out. Plus, if I take it during the day and I come to training, I'm still residually stimmed, and then my cardio's fucked.
Oh, because your heart's going.
So it can't be good for you either.
Nah.
So anyway, point is, if my goal was to do university and stuff, I probably would still be medicated.
Yeah.
But because I'm trying to do shit that I like on some level, it's a bit easier to not be. But it's still a fucking mission, because I'm always like forgetting keys, misremembering where I put shit. Where's the SD card that we needed last night? We're like fucking scrambling for it. That kind of shit. Like So
I don't know what it's called, but you kind of talked about the ups and downs. It's not bipolar. It's like called cyclothymia or something. Like it's bipolar, but like on a lower scale. Like bipolar is like months at a time of like ups, and then like a long period of downs. Whereas this cyclothymia, I'm saying it wrong, is like a little bit up, a little bit of down. Do you think it's kind of tied in with ADHD? I know you can't like it's hard to diagnose those kind of things. So
I think like the ADHD for me, everyone has, it's a spectrum disorder, and there's comorbidities. So I have what they think is the obsessive element of it.
Yeah.
They say it's hyperfocus, but mine is more extreme than a normal hyperfocus. So they would say it's from the autistic spectrum, which is why I like to joke about autism.
I've always thought you were autistic.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. But so that's why I feel like I can make those jokes. I'm not officially autistic, but like they pretty much.
It's like Mike Perry being 3% African, right?
So what was I saying? So my basically the symptoms that were very obvious from an early age was easily frustrated, very easily. Right. Like I remember like legitimately self-harming, just out in a fit of rage for losing in Mario.
Oh wow!
Like at 5 years old, my parents were like, "Fuck that! You're not playing Mario no more."
Shit, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which was kind of stupid. It should have tried to like teach me self-control as opposed to just eliminate the source. But anyway, that's again, how do you know? Like you can't know. Like every child's different.
Yeah, maybe you just hate Mario.
Yeah,
maybe you just hate Italians.
I just couldn't get past that last jump in the first level. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I was like fucking pissed.
Yeah.
So I like scratched my face, which was crazy if you think about it, like fucking 5.
That's wild.
But yeah, shit like that. So there's never been a point in my life that I've been more angry than losing in chess. I mean, Jesus Christ.
See that it works you up, eh?
Oh, but like, it's like the long games, when you're playing 3 hours and then you make a fucking dumbass mistake. But it's like, it's not the equivalent of like in jiu-jitsu being like in closed guard and just like grabbing the collar
and trying to Ezekiel someone.
No, like straight arm. Here's my arm bar. Like it's just like, why would you ever just leave your night out? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But it's like I hyper focus on a move, and then I forget that's vulnerable, and I just do anyway. I'll get pissed to fuck off. So there's that kind of aspect. I feel like I've learned coping mechanisms to deal with those things. The older I get, the better I get at like managing that.
Yeah.
So the older I get, the worst part about it is the inattentiveness. Because I'm like, in order to remember things, you need to be first attentive.
Yeah.
So then it has a knockdown effect on my memory.
Yeah.
But it's not that my memory's bad. It's just I'm not assimilating the information in the first place to then memorize it.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So like forgetting the keys, it's not that you can't remember where the keys are, is you weren't paying attention where you put the keys.
Yeah.
And so it's a constant that for every fucking thing.
I get that a lot actually.
You know?
Yeah. How old were you when you first started being medicated? And do you think your fighting in school when you got here was to do with that?
No, well, it might have been to do with ADHD.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry,
not medication, because I only got medicated at 18.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Okay. Yeah.
Because I was like, what the fuck? I can't study. I cannot study.
Yeah.
What is
So
going
this
on?
In university?
In high school.
Okay, so last year of high school.
Yeah, last year of high school, I was like, I'm trying. I'm sitting down.
Yeah.
I'm not allowing myself to do anything. I put the book down. I can't fucking study.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And was this the worst it had been in your life, or had it been like that and you could just handle the lower workloads?
I could handle the lower workloads because I would just do all-nighters. So in my last year of high school, I did, I'm not exaggerating, probably 60 plus all-nighters.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like I was basically like a crackhead without crack.
I've probably done 2 all-nighters in my entire life.
Yeah. No, I was like, because that was the only, I would get like really good grades, but I would just do it all last minute. And then the anxiety would drive me through.
You had to do quantity over quality, right?
Yeah. So once I couldn't do that anymore, like for chemistry external, you couldn't. You have to memorize like organic tables and shit, organic flow charts or whatever the fuck they're called, and you just can't do that last minute. So when I tried to do it and I couldn't, I was like, oh fuck, now what? And then I got to uni. I'm like, oh, that's just more of the same but worse. And I'm like, shit, you know? Yeah. So if I did go to uni for something else, I'd probably do something that I could easily all-nighter.
Yeah, nice.
Every exam, you know, English or some bullshit.
Go to night school.
Yeah.
It's your time to shine. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, why do you reckon you have certain like overlapping symptoms?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, like you say, it's a spectrum, right? Like I definitely get obsessed over things, you know, like I find like anything, like video games, books, like if I find a book I like, I'll do nothing for like a whole week. It's like ignore everything else in my life, you know?
Yeah.
And I think jiu-jitsu has been the only thing that I've really stuck with like long term. Yeah. But I would never say like I can focus pretty easy. So I'd never say like I have ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just want Ritalin from the government.
Yeah.
That's why.
It's pretty good. They give you $5, you get like a full month supply.
Yeah.
The only annoying thing, right, is pisses me off about the system is there's a whole money-making scheme of like, I guess they want you to like get reassessed just to make sure you're not like abusing it or blah, blah, blah. But like at the end of the day, what's really happens is you go every year, your script expires every year. Not your script, but your like ability to get the script.
Yeah, cool.
And then you got to go back into the psychiatrist
to get re-diagnosed,
which costs like, I don't know, 150 or something. And then just go, oh, you're still alive? Yep. All right, boom.
Dude.
And you're like, why the fuck did I just pay $150 for this?
It's bullshit. I think that about like physios sometimes. Sometimes I'll go in and see a physio and I'll go in with something wrong with my knee and I'll be like, I know it's my MCL. It's probably like a grade 2 tear because I've done it fucking a million times. And I'll walk in and they'll just kind of like rub my leg, just like talk some shit, put some like weird.
Do a test like this. Yeah, it does.
Right. Yeah. I knew it hurt coming in. Thanks. And then they'll be like, yeah, okay, cool. That's $60. And I'm like, for what?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So I just stopped going to physios. That's a bad thing to say, but.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the injury, you know. I feel like it's one of those ones that you're like, oh, I just need to like rest it, avoid the aggravating movements. Then but like with my back and getting the dry needling. Huge.
That's something else. Yeah. If I had back problems or if I had your chest thing, yeah.
Like I swear, like because my physio was sick last time I went, and like I've just been trying to maintain it myself.
Yeah,
and it's coming back to the point now where like I'm at the point where I can no longer maintain my neutral.
Oh, okay. So you're starting to drop into the pain territory.
Yeah. It's like, it's not quite there yet, but it's like, I'm struggling to like keep everything loose. And it's really annoying because I feel like there should be a deeper root that I should be addressing. But I feel like the chronic tightness, it's just been like that for so many years that it must be like just
built up over time, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, but you've said you've kind of increased your flexibility and that sort of helped to...
Hugely, yeah. Like I swear, even just the one kickboxing class a week, the dynamic teeps and stuff, like is helping a lot.
Yeah, it's huge, eh?
Yeah. All right, last thing. How was the GOAT? Lachlan Giles.
He's mean, bro. Yeah, he's cool. I only rolled with him once, but it was pretty surreal. Yeah, just to see that next level.
Did he know who you were? Like, or were you just like another random student?
Some random dude. That's the cool thing about Absolute, I think, is just people are coming in and out all the time. You know, but they were super friendly, like very welcoming.
For anyone that's stuck this long to the podcast, doesn't know who Lachlan Giles is. He was it the last, not this ADCC. It was
2019 ADCC.
2019 ADCC. He came out and basically caught 3 legends, giants in open weight with the same fucking setup, same move.
Something of a technical innovator.
Yeah. So and then he pretty much changed the meta of the leg lock game for a little while there.
Yeah. And that's what I saw as well when I was there. And not even with the K guard stuff that he was doing, but just like a lot of the guard he plays where he's like fully inverted, like he's upside down. Like you can just see he's not doing what everyone else is doing, which is what I like. Like if I had gone in there and he had done things that I've already seen, I would still be very impressed because he whooped my ass. But I would be like, okay, cool. You know, you're a jiu-jitsu guy and you're good at what you do. But like to see, like there's obviously something else going on like up here, you know, that sets him apart. That was really cool
I find that funny though, because I wonder what his experience was. Because I feel like if he didn't know anything and it's like, oh, it's just some random guy. Oh yeah, cool. Look, seems like a nice guy. Cool. Let's slap and bump.
Yeah.
And then he goes with you. Like, although he's way better.
Yeah.
He must have been like, holy fuck.
Nah, he fucked me off.
No, but like compared to like an average person, like if I go in, he'll be like, okay, yeah, I know. But like, I know what you feel like rolling.
Maybe.
So I'm sure he would have been like, oh shit, this is not the average person.
I was trying pretty hard not to tap. I'll say that. He got me like some, he was just trying, I think he was just trying something. He wasn't trying to like pull my neck, but he was trying like a strange like short neck choke. And I was like, making the sounds, you know, but I was like, no. Yeah. And he tapped me like 8 times otherwise, but.
Fuck, man.
Maybe like 4 times. Yeah, but that's still a lot, you know.
The thing is, it's crazy because you see him with like those matches with Craig Jones, and Craig is such a big animal.
He's big, dude.
And they go toe to toe, like pretty much like point for point or whatever.
Yeah, he's amazing. His flexibility is like something very different. That's what like the main thing that stood out to me. He's very strong, but he's just very mobile. You know, like I'm trying to deal with his legs and they're like hands.
The regards.
Yeah, the regards, bro. I'd be like, and like the way he regards into attacking positions, like every time I went to knee on belly, as soon as my knee touched his stomach, he'd just invert backside 50-50. And I'd be like, oh fuck. One more time. Let's try it again, you know? And like, no.
Wow.
Yeah, he's good, bro. He's cool. If anyone's listening, I can definitely recommend it. Yeah. Cool gym as well. Great atmosphere, which is what you really
Which one? Was it the Melbourne one or?
It was the St Kilda one. Yes. I think there's 3 in Melbourne. There's one in the city centre, one in St Kilda, one somewhere else.
And does he train specifically at one of them or does he float around?
I think he's primarily at St Kilda.
Okay.
Yeah. That seems to be like their like home gym.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but apparently the other ones are really good too. I didn't get a chance to get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'd stayed longer, I probably would have tried. But I got too homesick. I miss my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Can't blame you. All right, man.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me on here,
for the chats.
Yeah, all good, bro. All good.
Appreciate you coming on, and we're gonna jam some chess.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna beat Eduard in chess.
And I'm gonna be so fucking
he's gonna
rage.
Beat me up, dude.
I'm gonna get fucking primary level.
Yeah,
rage.
You're gonna see red, dude. The way the chess inventors intended.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I've been reading some really interesting things about. Sorry, I know we just like shook hands.
That's fine.
Like historically, the way chess was played, like sometimes like you would change the rules depending on whether there was like a full moon or like. Yeah. I'll try to find a few. I can't remember the article.
Cool. Yeah, show me that.
Like change the pieces, like they'd swap around like the knights and the bishops or something. Yeah.
There is a different kind of like offshoot. It's called Chess 960.
Chess 960.
And the back pieces get randomized.
Oh, yo.
So basically it eliminates all opening theory.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Mean.
I hate it because Ivan is really good at it.
I need order.
Yeah. Ivan's really good at tactics and I suck at tactics. So he fucks me up every time.
Cool.
Anyways, thank you for coming on.
That was mean. Thank you very much.
Subscribe, do all the things that you got to do. You got your camera there. And where can people find you?
Shit.
I know you don't really post much, but you should.
Yeah,
you got some fucking dope matches.
What's my jiu-jitsu handle?
Let's look it up right
now. No, I can do it. It's jiu-jitsu janitor. I think it was originally jujitsu gypsy, but that's a racial slur apparently. So
it's not. In English, it's not. But you got scared anyway.
I'm just a sucker for alliteration, and I'm also an absolute sheep.
I do like. I'm like, why did you change it to janitor? Because I sweep scrubs up.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. I'll admit that. That was good.
So it's ju.jitsu.janitor.
Yeah.
All right, cool guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Peace out.